Hello everybody! Welcome to another episode of the Coastal Conclave and presents the Cult of Hunger.
Cult 5!
Yeah, otherwise known as Cult 5, because we've now decided that Cult of Hunger is going to have the same naming conventions as the Fast and Furious movies, which made last episode The Cult and the Hunger. Or was
have we had two Cults and Hunger?
Sorry, Cult and Hunger I think is the fourth.
Have
The
we had-
very first session was The Cult and the Hunger. Right.
So have we had two Cult 2 Hunger yet? We did.
We did have two Cult 2 Hunger.
Yeah.
And then there was Cult 3 Vic Dustwood Drift. And then 4. Anyway, we're getting sidetracked. I do apologize. Welcome to the stream, ladies and gentlemen. We are a Central Coast-based group running a live play session. So welcome here. We are missing a few people tonight. One of them permanently will be away as our normal esteemed Dungeon Master from the Chronicles of Amarr series, Luke LePage, who normally plays the Paladin Templar Ibiagus. He is absent due to work commitments. And Richard, who will be playing the stalwart Dragonborn Barbarian called Druck, is just delayed. So he will be here, hopefully within the next 20 or so minutes.
Just kill him off.
And we'll just pretend like he's, I don't know.
Too soon.
Yeah. He's gone and just murdered a bunch of people. So we need some damp cave ambience. So we'll get that cracking.
Ooh, cracking. Roll D20. 11.
Say,
No
Nick
cracking.
Cave?
No cracking. Safe.
No cracking. So do apologise. I was running a little bit late today and still trying to set up while I'm doing this. So if I'm trying to sort stuff out, we'll try and get that under control. But
One star on Google reviews.
yeah, straight away, just terrible.
Ruckus.
But as always, we'd like to start off by giving a shout out to our affiliates, of which there are a few. I would normally pass it to Andrew, but as I am also a person, I will just jump straight in. So our first affiliate is obviously Eldritch Foundry. Eldritch Foundry has a 15% off discount through our partnership that you can use on any single mini purchases. Eldritch Foundry is a 3D character creation tool. Yes, you can see there on his notes. It is for customizing and building a 3D mini of your dreams. They have a great selection, over 100 different combinations of options and stuff like that. And they are giving us 15% off by going to eldritchfoundry.com and using the code CConclave15. You will see that probably underneath my DM screen at some point in Carousel and on the break as well. Second affiliate is Roll With Advantage, a local Melbourne, well not super local, but still Australian-based Melbourne business, family-owned business, who is, it's a dice shop. Probably one of the best dice shops in the whole world, in my opinion. And we buy a lot of dice from them.
They just roll better.
They roll so well. And the dice that Fig Dustwood, aka Mike, used last session that killed his character was definitely not a roll with advantage. Some other dice. But yeah, they are fantastic, still supporting us. They've still left the link up as far as our previous conversations have gone, so it's open at the moment. Just go to the link in the descriptions on the socials and down below, I think, right now, and you can unlock your 12%.
And then Christmas is coming. I mean, what better present than dice?
Christmas
Mm-hmm.
is coming.
Mm-hmm.
On that note, that's a really great idea.
Yeah.
I know so many nerds.
You're like, interesting.
Yep.
But they're fantastic, still supporting us.
Just buy one set and distribute the individual die out to...
Excellent. Alright, well, the last affiliate is obviously our local game store, Elemental Arcade.
Elemental.
And yeah, we need some sort of sound like that. We need to get other guys to sort that out. Yeah, just needs to like reverberate through the space. But no, they are a fantastic group down there. They're our go-to hobby shop. I'm playing a lot down there at the moment. You know, other games, but also D&D as well. At the moment, we're on a bit of a hiatus with some of the D&D games that we'll be running, just because there's obviously been a big shop move, and there's a few things going on that's taking some time away from me being able to attend. But come the new year, we hope to get back into it, and yeah, hopefully we'll see you guys down there, and you can jump in. And I think that's Richard. So he's done a fantastic job getting here before we even get into the session.
Mm-hmm. Awesome.
We do have, Luke would kill me if I didn't say, don't forget our Redbubble store. I have no idea if he's got the new stickers up. Hopefully he has. But yeah, you can get our Coastal Conclave logo stickers on the Redbubble. You can get them on shirts, you can get them on other things. And there's a couple of our emojis created and artised by Richard himself that he has thrown on to the store as well. So there's some really good ones there that you guys can jump onto. Otherwise, we're just going to do a quick round table before we fully get into tonight's session. Do a quick introduction of who you are and what you're playing, what they are, and then we'll jump into episode 5 of the Cult of Hunger, aka Cult 5. So we'll start on this side. Matt, take it away.
Okay, so I'm playing Siren Oakstrike, the eternally overwhelmed elf at the moment. So they've managed to find some very, very interesting friends, but up until this point, still trying to actually figure out where they are, how this world has suddenly turned very hostile, and hopefully make it out the other end.
Sorry, I'm just trying to block behind me, and I'll just close this door. Erin, you want to kick us off next?
Hi, I'm Erin. I play Russell, the Kenku sorcerer, who is probably senile. He's pretty high and mighty. And will scream. Not like last time, which was very loud.
Yeah. No, so fun. Mike?
Oh my god,
I mean, you don't introduce your character. So for viewers at home, if this is your first time, Mike's character was killed last session.
Brutally murdered
You
by
played.
the Master.
Yep.
You know, I think that he had it in for me from the start of the session.
100%.
You know, had nothing to do.
Start of the session or since I met you?
Yeah.
Yes.
It is. That's a good point. I seem to be like the only character. I think actually, if Metal Mum's watching, we know that's not true. So, Christy and I are the only 2 players who get murdered in your games.
Mm.
Oh wait, no, Richard also died. No, it's just gonna new facts, okay?
And he just indiscriminately kills all the players.
I'm gonna rewrite history. Anyway,
who's the murder hobo now?
So I'm Mike. Thank you for joining us tonight. I will be playing an unknown character who will show up sometime in the session. I am formerly Fig Duskwood, a hobgoblin detective who unfortunately passed at the hands of some horrible creatures named the Dungeon Master last cult session. And I will throw to the always fabulous Richard O'Reilly. Yes, he is.
Hi guys,
Good.
it's me, Richard. Thanks for joining us. I play the barbarian Blue Dragonborn, Druck, who has decided that, you know, there's a lot of eating people going around and maybe you should get on this bandwagon.
100%. Awesome. Alrighty. And as always, for the Cult of Hunger, normally playing Lilith in the Chronicles of Amar, aka the Double Princess, aka the Empress Princess, aka whatever the other names are that we've made up for her. And Princess. And I will be your Dungeon Master tonight. And yes, I'm very unforgiving. No.
Terrifying.
How could you? Honest.
It's these terrible stones.
Yeah. I mean, all I can say is just roll better next time.
Oh, yes,
Guys, just be better at D&D.
Yeah, can you just like
No.
not roll less than a 10 for yourself? Then your character won't die. It's just like so easy.
Come on, man, it's Bush League.
Yeah.
just watch now as we just roll nat 20s all night and just steamroll everything.
That I mean, I'd be actually pretty happy with that because there's a lot to get through. So we will jump into our session, Cold Finder 5, and just do a quick recap of the events of what's led to this point. It's a bit of an abridged one, not a lot of detail, so I'm sure people will yell out that there was more important information that I could have talked about. But the cliff notes are: after an intense battle in the town of Redland, where the group was defeated by the powerful ex-Templar Eric Arena, leading the Gnoll cultists to retrieve a certain artifact was being held within the town. The group awoke one by one inside a cart moving through a swamp-like marsh. Eric Arena made threats and also tried to give the group a small insight into the calling she had heard in order to serve this demon lord Yennegu, the creature that basically all gnolls either are progenited from or serve themselves. A beast of malice and hunger. Funny that. Explain that they would become part of the sacrifice to bring his will into the realm of Amar. But after being knocked back out, or in Iviarcus' case, knocking himself back out, because he didn't want to listen to a monologue, some time passed, but you're not sure how long or what happened in between. You got glimpses, but eventually awoke to cold water in prison cells. Fig, Druk, and Iviarcus found themselves still bound and gagged, and now watched over by two gnolls, basically prison guards. Eric Arena issued one last foreboding threat before disappearing upwards. They're now sort of you're basically awake in these cages, but inside this massive cavern, and you found yourselves underground. This cave was illuminated by soft purple glow from a cluster of gemstones in a corner and housed 6 cells. Your other companions, Binger and Silver, sadly were nowhere to be seen. But 3 other individuals were chained up in the other cells. What seems to be an elven woman, perhaps a druid, a muzzled Kenku, and a very prissy dark elf named Fiore. As the group tested their surroundings, the gnolls kept watch and reprimanded any attempts to do anything they found, not to their liking, essentially. Trying to put your hands through, bars and talk to each other and try and break out. Eventually, anticipating that you had a moment to get this group and before the next shift change, and not wanting to stick around in prison, you worked together to break free and subdue the gnolls. However, you were without gear. You were heavily injured from the previous fight and had no chance of respite and rest. So even 2 standard gnolls were more than a match for the group. And in the ensuing battle, sadly, the mighty Fig Duskwood had his final moments, dying while trying to free himself from his servitude. 2 more additional gnolls did arrive, but your group managed to actually get on top of them, finally freeing Fiore, who used an inflict wound spell to basically just drop one of the creatures in one go, while the rest of you were able to take out the more archery one that was standing in the doorway. So you're now surrounded by your dead friend, a bunch of new allies, corpses of the gnolls, which you have pilfered as much as you can, but that was pretty scarce in this cave, and you now find yourselves deep in the caverns of the cult, surrounded by gnoll forces and other cultists, and no clear direction for escape. You've decided to descend deeper down into the tunnels below to perhaps find some way of evading the gnolls and what other dreaded horrors may lie in wait. So, I believe somebody got a torch sorted out. I think there was a torch on the room that you grabbed. You have currently transformed yourself into one of the Gnoll guards, and I think a few of you have picked up some of their weapons and armor as best as you can. Iliagus will be piloted by moi for tonight, so I'll go grab his character sheet up. I know what to do with him.
Just remember, he's sporting a new hat.
He does have a new hat.
His inheritance.
Fig believed in him.
Just need-
He believed in that kid.
He's going places.
Yeah.
He's got much, you see.
Don't know where he's going, but he's going somewhere.
So, you are at the intersection of coming out of this room. One pathway leads ascending up and sort of banks away, so you lose sight of it after about 20 or so feet. And the same kind of happens descending down further into, I guess, the caves. So that goes down probably 30 feet, and then it sort of curls around right, and you can't really see past that point.
The one that was going up, that's the one that Eric Arena took.
She went that way, correct. And the guards that the second group of 2 gnolls that came up to see what the commotion was about, they came from the bottom one. They came up from below. What would you guys like to do?
Was it Fiore?
Fiore.
Fiore?
Fiore? Or did I say Fiore?
Didn't she have some...
Fiore.
Didn't she have an angle on this that she felt that we should have gone down? Did she have some information there that we were leveraging at the time?
Yes, I think what she had explained was, she's a drow, going down is probably her preference. She was obviously very, wanted to get out and didn't really want to deal with the gnolls, but didn't quite elaborate further.
I do seem to remember that she suggested that we might be able to bring our companion Fig back to life.
If you find her gear, she can revive him.
Yeah. So I think at the last thing...
In some form.
Yes, she said, sort of. And then, did the maniacal laugh that the cockroach professor does. Hugh Laurie's voice from Monsters vs. Aliens.
Oh my god.
And we went right over Drop's head. So he picked up Fig, has him fireman style over his shoulder.
In his loincloth.
Yep. Delicious.
Okay, yeah, I believe we were heading downwards. So...
Let us on to adventure! Let us on to adventure.
Okay, so
Quieter.
you start heading down. You take the bend and you notice that it curls back sharply, and then it's kind of like you go down 30 feet. It's not super steep incline, but when it curls back down, it suddenly becomes much steeper. But there seems to be makeshift sort of staircase being carved out of the ground. Descends down. It's a larger sort of area, probably about 10 or so feet wide, whereas it started off about only big enough for Druk to pass through. And as you sort of round the bend and see it sort of descend down, it then plateaus out maybe about 60 feet down, right at the cusp of where the light is touching. You can see that it does actually become just flat. You continue down. The moisture in the air is quite stifling. The walls are wet with this level of moisture. It's definitely very humid here. And as you reach the bottom, it only goes for about 30 feet forward, opening up into more of a 20-foot space. And then you see a gate made of wooden panels, basically 2 sides, wooden panels stacked, probably about a couple of inches distance between each panel. And you can see some wire meshing sort of sitting behind that. It's currently got a big chain sort of across it and a huge padlock in the middle. and you can hear, even as long as you go passive over 10, there is the there's growls, hyena,
10 is my
yips, and-
passive.
Yep. So you hear it as well. You hear it. 10 or higher. 10 or higher. You hear growls. You hear hyena laughter and yips, but nothing really else. There is obviously creatures beyond the gate. What would you like to do?
I'd like to unceremoniously drop Fig to the ground and then press my Dragonborn ear against the door to gain some form of insight into what may be on beyond.
Sorry. About to lose the stream. I was like, the max lost power.
Oh no.
Oh, dude, you broke the immersion.
Yeah. Sorry, what were you saying? My apologies.
I'll just cut it down to the simple thing. Then do an insight check on what's happening. Yeah. Let's take that
With me or the creatures?
Yes.
Yeah, what is going? What is happening?
What is happening? What is happening?
Let's get real. If I had a chair, I do have a chair. If I had a chair that I could turn around backwards and sit back style, I'd do it. But for now,
Roll me an insight check.
Russell will help you.
Okay, yeah, I know.
ooh. How are you helping me, Russell?
He's a pretty good looker.
I just look good.
Yeah.
Feathers just
Dash.
Druck is inspired.
he'll try and point out some things you might not see.
Glad you helped because I got twin threes.
Twin threes.
Nice. Very nice.
Not roll with advantage dice.
There's creatures beyond the gate.
Druck is pretty sure with this. Oh,
Pick Fig back up.
So Saren is going to take a position basically against the wall, casting what she hopes is the null version of an authoritarian, look down on everyone. So at a casual glance, it looks like they're kind of meant to be there, or at least I think they are. So.
this is a good look on you.
Whatever you're doing, just make it quick.
Can I look around? Is there anything else? Is that the only door?
Space about 30 feet, 20 feet, stalactites on the roof, moist, hot humid air, gate, where you came from. That's it.
Russell,
Can Russell do an insight check?
Yeah.
I'm gonna help Russell. 'Cause
Do you
I'm
want
really
to
looking
do you
out.
want to inside, or do you want to move up and proceed through the gaps to see what's on the other side?
Well, I'm way better at insight, but yeah,
Yeah.
I'll
You
proceed.
could do an inside check.
You are bad luck. That is a 15.
15. Okay. Pretty good. So from the sounds and all that kind of stuff, you're definitely, you get a sense that there's a large group beyond. Without actually going in and inspecting, you feel the sounds are kind of just general chit chat, like beasts just moving around and just sort of like yipping and barking at each other. Nothing aggressive. More calm.
Russell will turn to the group and just whisper, "Big." No. Like gesture, "Big."
Big what?
big numbers,
Big creep?
big knolls.
Big number.
Oh.
Do you repeat back what he said exactly the same
Yeah.
way he said it in
Yeah.
this in Drook's voice?
Yeah. Big number.
Sounds good on you. As much as Drook relishes the taste of battle and the tentative grip on life that he now finds himself, that may be a challenge too large for Drook.
We barely made it through to.
What about a act of cunning? We could lure the beast beyond out, you could direct them up, and we could go through the door.
It's not a terrible idea. Looking around, is there any place where we might potentially hide for humanoid things?
Nah, the stalactites and stalagmites are, of decent size, but it's almost impossible to hide for people behind
Okay.
all of that and have a big congregation sort of come through this area.
Okay. I have one idea. But it might mean potentially making a lot more noise than we should.
Druck can do this.
Well, you see, we're missing someone, namely myself. We could always raise the cry that they've gone missing. That might get them upstairs and potentially out of our way. But that does mean that the moment they figure out that I'm not up there, we're going to be on a very, very quick timer.
Perhaps by then we would have, and I kind of tap Fig's bottom, our ranks may be full again.
Hopefully. To be fair, it's not like we have many other options at this point, is it?
If you're at this point, it's just like she's standing there and she's like, "Can we hurry up and make a decision? I want to get out of here." Has anybody actually checked what's in that room? I'm going to check what's in that room. And she starts walking forward.
Well, if we're going to do this plan, where will we hide?
You don't hide. I'm just trying to think. There wasn't any like rope or anything.
There's a
Chains,
couple of
manacles?
short chains, yeah. Nothing too long, but there was maybe like 5 feet of chain per jail cell that they could use to maybe like string up people and stuff like that.
Yep.
Guys, there are a lot of hyenas in there.
That's why we're not opening the door yet.
Yeah, but not gnolls. I don't see any gnolls. They're just hyenas everywhere.
Oh.
Come and have a look.
Sort of kind of clump awkwardly forward. As happens when your feet grow twice as large in a short span of time.
Yep.
And sort of press my eye to the gap, trying to get,
Have a look.
trying to find a splintered area.
Yeah, there's a lot of clusters of gemstone, sort of that glowing purple gemstone in this area, so it does illuminate quite a large cabin. Couple of pillars holding up a high ceiling. Ceiling's probably like 80 feet tall. Can't really see around the side too well, as it sort of just banks off a little bit. But you can see 4 massive pillars, and there's maybe a dozen hyenas just moving around in the space. The ground is absolutely littered with bones.
Okay.
There is just bones everywhere. Then there are offshoot sort of tunnels at various different areas. And as you're looking, you also notice, sort of coming out of the tunnel with a very sort of slow, long gait, is a very large hyena. Its coat is white, muzzle filled with blood, and you see the other hyena sort of move around away from it as it sort of comes out and just finds a little spot and starts like nestling down. It pulls something that was kind of like draped over its back, just like a leg. It looks like a humanoid leg, and starts like eating at it. A hyena gets pretty close, trying to like grab it, and as it does, the white gnoll extends its mouth and just slams down on the neck of the other hyena. It yells and screams in pain, but then goes limp. You notice in that flash, the canines on this white hyena are uncharacteristically long.
I'm trying, Druck's trying to lean over, trying to get, what do you see with that?
As Druk sees that, creature.
no.
You recognize it.
Oh no.
That looks bad.
Shush, 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 shush.
But that says it's worse.
It is very bad. We faced this thing. 3 strong, equipped with all our gear and armor, and full of health. And it almost took us all down. I'm gonna go out on a limb. We ain't ready for this fight.
Well, we're not going this way then.
No, definitely not.
What kind of creature is it? Those fangs, they're so massive, and it's like 10 feet in size itself. It's enormous.
There is a
And it's eating another hyena.
there is a
I didn't
legend.
think cannibalism was a thing for this.
There is a legend in my tribe. One of the vampire.
Oh, fuck that. And you just watch her just put up her hands, she'll start walking away.
She gets it.
She's just like,
I-
no.
She gets it.
No, that thing will murder us within seconds. We are completely tapped. There's no way we can fight something like that.
I know we've had our differences, but I do agree. Let's not.
She's just like, finally.
Russell just repeats what she said. Fuck that.
Yeah. Okay, so in that case,
Upstairs.
Back up we go.
Upstairs. Upstairs.
Upstairs.
Upstairs.
Mr. Mime,
Upstairs.
at this point, would you like to say something?
You kind of, as you guys are sort of plotting your things, you just hear this like kind of faint whistling and then a bit of a.
I immediately turn around and throw a fig at you.
That thing goes into space and just falls on the ground, not hitting anything.
Who is there? Oh my god.
What the hell is that?
is that common?
Ready your weapons.
Fiore like sits there for a second and goes, is that goblin? I'm not fluent in it, but she tries to say show yourself in goblin, but it says slow yourself.
There's a slight chuckle, but you don't see anything.
That's not right. We have a friend in here and I can't see him.
We do. I'll throw out the same phrase in both Orcish and Halfling, see if I can. It's 2 sides of the coin, either
Yeah.
monstrous or small.
Yeah.
So you hear this next phrase, kind of like you imagine someone pacing around the hallway. Mac mac grob. Wop wop.
Womp womp.
He's casting a spell.
So Fiore at this point just got
Yeah.
like energy emanating as she just pulls out 2 orbs of power and just goes, show yourself, whatever you are.
Reveal yourself to us, Spectre.
So right next to Syrian's ear, there's kind of like a rustle, and you hear a whisper of
Just out of sheer reaction at this point in time, the torch is just going to swing wide in the direction of the voice.
Should we roll for that?
Make an attack roll, you
I-
are at disadvantage.
Yeah. No, that is fine. This is
terrifying.
entirely a knee-jerk reaction.
Totally
Because Siren has neither enough sleep, food, nor brain cells for this.
She's like,
At disadvantage,
Yeah.
that's like a 5.
yeah, cool. Doesn't hit anything.
No.
You've made it mad. Great Spirit. We beseech you.
Great spirit!
Lend us your aid.
Everyone's speaking in common.
He seems favorable to this.
And it's like I get so into like this is you see out of nowhere this really small, fairy appear, looking incredibly disheveled, dark hair, long beard, kind of feathered wings, and he's like in the middle of dropping a bow in the middle of the air as he's just sort of floating there with his wings flapping. He doesn't realize that his spell is basically run out. He's there. I can get used to this!
At this point, Fiore runs over and kicks you.
Is that an attack roll?
Yeah, oh my god, it's a
If it wasn't that, Russell would have just shot a firebolt at him.
17.
Hits.
Her strength is only 2 damage, so you'll just take 2 points of damage, but she kind of kicks you, and you go flying through the air.
Druck desperately tries to catch him.
It's a fail, some stupid little fairy thing.
It is one of the chosen!
It's a god! I'm a god! You heard the big guy.
Oh, Great Spirit, please do not be angry with us for this one's trespassers.
Fiore's just like,
So I kind of like float up and I sort of get very like a Boo and Aladdin and start speaking Goblin once again. And I'm like, and I just tap him on the head.
nobody speaks Goblin here. Can you speak a language we can understand?
Common.
Can you get out of the way of the door? Someone's got to eat.
Yes, and anything you want.
And I start shifting them away from the door.
You heard the Great Spirit. Make way. Make way.
He kind of flicks his tongue a little bit, like just like a Barty Crouch, a little bit, and you can see like he's not showered for a while.
Your musk is very pungent, Great Spirit.
Oh my god.
Where I'm from, you have great place of honor amongst my people. You recognize great. And he turns to both of you and Fiora. And, do well to take this one example.
Show your deference.
No.
You do not understand this situation.
It's
this
just
is one of...
It's just a fairy dream.
I don't understand
Just-
anything at this point.
In my tribe, the Fey folk, I held in highest regard.
All elves are technically fae folk.
These guys.
She's just like scowls at you and just goes, if we're not going into the hyena den, I'm going back upstairs.
I'm going into the hyena den.
Why
It's
would
where
you-
I keep the best food.
Yeah, no.
No.
You get your. We're all going to get murdered if you. Well, actually, I don't give a shit about him. If you want to go, that's totally fine.
I've been
He's
coming here for
basically a walking alarm. Flying alarm.
I can walk too, but I'm not going to. That's
Great Spirit.
Peasants
She's
walk.
okay.
Not that we do not fully trust in your capability.
Oh, and of course.
The beast in there is one of foul magics, and I fear for your safety, Great Spirit. I would not want any harm to come to you, for it would be a great shame to me and my people.
Yeah, it would be a great shame. I have been coming at least 9-10 months, never caught. On account of, and I do a little bit of a magical flourish on my finger. As I cast the little spell, you see like it kind of like goes through my beard and my feathers a little bit. And if you have magic, invisibility, take you great places.
Got that. We understand that.
Very good.
Not going to help you out there. That creature will sniff you out and it's going to eat you up. And then that would make my migraine go away.
Not if they smell like a hyena yourself. And I get close and I really like I kind of like back up my tush
She's just like,
like this,
no, go away.
and then I start flapping my wings, like really like sort of you feel the air of the wings sort of like kind of get the scent, the hyena musk. 9-10 months of exploring these tunnels and coming in and out and basically not showering.
Great Spirit, your magic is strong.
Oh, wait. So you've been coming here for this long?
Not caught, not once, still here, not like this handsome. Oh,
As much as it begrudges me to say this,
Big word.
very, very tiring word. Do you know where they keep the things they steal from people they bring in?
I'm going to throw that question over to the Dungeon Master and he can tell me what I know.
Just run that by me one more time.
Our gear.
Oh, the gear? Yes. You will know that most stuff that they procure from people that they bring in from the outside world is kept within the armory, which is back up quite a ways.
They keep all the useless stuff at the top.
Okay.
Food, very useful. Other stuff, not so much.
Food is fantastic. Well, how long has it been since you had a meal cooked for you? You seem very fond of food.
Why I need to get through the door?
Yes, but what if you didn't have to work for your food?
No work, just this work. Getting you out of way. First time, long time, something in my way.
I mean, surely if you're that great, then you can move through us. You are small and the gaps are large.
We would not want to impose, though.
No, but
Of course.
Oh, wait.
Right.
for someone so great, then we would not be a problem.
Can I have a word with you? He will level a great misfortune on your tribe if you do not acquiesce to the Great Spirit's demands.
Oh, don't worry. I'm very well aware of how spiteful and fickle Fae can be.
Great, we're agreed. Just give him what he wants.
If he wants to go get meat, he can do that.
Yes, he can.
But we need to go upstairs.
That's great. Let's do this.
Yes.
The door itself, Dungeon Master. Is there like a little porthole or something, or like is there like little bars or something? Is it just like, or is it just an open doorway and you can just go through, and we just?
No, so the wooden panels, about that far apart, but you can see behind there's just mesh, wire mesh. Completely encompasses the sort of area. There's a couple little gaps where they've obviously cut it as well as they can to make sure that it covers the cavern entrance, cavern tunnel, but it's not perfect. But if that's any way you're going to sneak in, it's going to be through one of those. And then there's a massive chain that sort of attaches the middle of it, and then a huge sort of padlock that's sitting on it at the moment.
So I go to cast Reduce, and you all see me sort of like trying to spark some magic and just kind of like looking really confused as I'm unable to use my Reduce Self spell at the moment. So,
No.
Well done. Well done, Great Spirit. That was really...
You taking the piss?
No! I had nothing to carry it in.
It's fair call.
Yeah, well, a nice meal sounds
Good.
that's good.
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 Very good.
If the gear's up,
Good.
we need to go.
Yes.
Yes. Yes.
I didn't get anybody's names. Somebody, can you give me a
Me.
name?
Me!
Yeah,
Great
me
Spirit,
first.
me!
You first.
I am Druk, Blessed of the Thunder, and it is my honor to meet you, Great Spirit.
I take out my notebook and I write the name down.
He wrote my name down.
Siren Oakshrike.
Thank you for giving me a name.
Russell the Great. That's all it says.
This
You shaking your head.
This is Fig, and I pick up Fig's head, and I'm like, he is very happy to meet you, although he is a little bit dead.
I stroke his face.
Also,
More than a little bit dead.
just
For now.
be aware that you don't. I'm assuming the Great isn't your full name. Don't reveal too much more than that to Faye.
Yes. 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 Yes.
Very good.
And
Did
what
you
is,
say something?
Not at all. Not at all.
may we ask your name, Great Spirit?
You may ask me to share of my name. Hmm? And
We need not ask your true name, only what we may call you.
I will curiously. I do the body crouch. I turn around and face away from you, looking at the wall, not looking at you, and I reveal that my name is. As if I'm like talking to like a concert hall, but it's not really talking to a wall.
my name is Cannibal Lonshada. You may clap.
I turn around and I give
What a
this,
name!
there's this menacing look.
You may clap.
His feathered hands don't
Yeah,
really make
don't make-
noise.
You got 3.
Furious is like, fuck off.
And so, just for my own notes, can you say that slightly clearer?
Yeah, so I'm Caliban Lonshada.
Normally, I would repeat that with spelt as you would expect, but I expect nothing from that, so I'll make my best attempt.
Please make your best
What was that
attempt.
last name?
Lonshada. And I am a fairy wizard. In case that was
Yeah.
not abundantly clear already.
Okay, Caliban.
Yep.
You've been sneaking through here for this long.
Yep.
Do you know areas that the guards won't patrol that we can sneak through? No, very good. Do you at least know the way to where they keep the gear? Fantastic. Is there a significant chance of us violently dying in between here and there?
We need to work on your confidence, bird.
Confidence.
I think I call you Confidence Bird.
Wrestle.
Yes, Confidence Bird. What was the question?
What was the question?
How likely... Are we going to pass through a great number of them to get there?
I
Surely you can see while you're not... while you're invisible.
I'll just give you some little flickers of magic with my finger.
You're Stylian, look! My magical crystal ball. You see everything in it?
No.
What makes you fucking think I
Very good.
You said you've been here for months. How did you not
know? But I've been here today once.
Oh, you haven't been this far before.
No, of course I've been further than this. But today, this day, right now, today is not same as yesterday.
What is upset? Where's the armory? How many gnolls are around?
Then I point to the tunnel that takes up and
Okay, let's...
So for DM knowledge to you,
yes.
it's easy for, I guess, an invisible small fairy to move around such a complex by himself.
Yes, by himself.
With a group, you can obviously take this any way you wish, but it's not going to be as easy. But you know that patrols are quite frequent. There's anything from cloaked individuals, the cultists moving around. There's a couple of other noticeable locations which you've probably been is maybe like the shrine. There's an area which they always keep closed off that's actually magically watered. You haven't been able to access. There are a bunch of other sort of like what you would consider like sleeping areas, like barracks essentially for gnolls and the cultists. They're actually on the separate sides of the compound. But it's a mining sort of facility that this group of gnolls and cultists have made their home. So it's there's a couple of like main junctures, mining sort of like rail areas and things like that. It's quite labyrinthine. But yes, from a density perspective, the higher, the more you go to the main areas, the more gnolls and cultists there are.
I drop my voice.
You get lost. You go off the main path. No problem. If we just
And I pull out a dagger. It's got this like tiny little red jewel on it. It sort of flashes as it comes out.
if we just kill them all.
And my feathered wings.
You know what? Yep, that checks out.
My friends, this is a great omen.
Great omen.
We are walking with victory on our sides.
Walking with victory on our side.
I have to admit, I don't mean leveling with you now. Mind leveling with you now. I was a bit nervous coming down here. As what he said. Now I'm feeling real good about this. We have one of the Fae on our sides. A great spirit. We can do nothing wrong.
We're all gonna fucking die. We're all gonna die.
Just a question.
Are
we talking about you're going to immediately try to murder me, or you're just going to ignore me in sullen silence for a day? Like, on a scale between those two, how much would you hate me if I punched a fairy?
Well, it is definitely a murder. I mean, murder is a fight to death, yes. Kill in your sleep, no.
I get up like right in Siren's face like this, and I'm like,
Kill a fairy, eh?
I said punch, not kill.
Kill a fairy, eh? That's what you want to do.
It's what I want to do. It's what I want to do. Can I do it?
I put my dagger at your nose.
Oh my god, that's so tiny. Look how cute.
This irritated, like, I'm trying to hold myself together, like nose twitch from the knoll.
My food! Food!
We'll get you food when we get out.
Drock was terrified during that whole exchange. He was sweating.
So now Caliborn's just sort of floating side to side, just sort of waiting for the group to.
Yep. Onwards and upwards.
You're leading. I'm staying at the back.
Onward and upward.
Okay. So, again, slightly awkwardly, but let's be honest, gnolls aren't exactly the most graceful creatures to start with. I'll, torch up, lead the way back upstairs, just with a look at least somewhat meek, will you?
What I'll do as we're walking up, I'll kind of every now and then I'll just fly in and just like 8 ear and then come back.
Look, just at least stay out of sight if someone comes along.
Stop.
I definitely grabbed
Don't punch the
Figs.
fairy. Don't punch the fairy.
What a great manifesto.
Don't punch the fairy.
Punch the fairy.
I've grabbed Fig's leg and so I'm dragging him up the stairs.
Oh
with
my
one
God.
arm, and his head's going boom, boom on each of the steps as we're going up.
Well, Fiore takes up the rear and it's just like she's keeping it. You can feel eyes just boring into the back of your head, but every time you look, she's really good at like
Just
she's
the
good at-
side glance.
Yeah, and it's just like looking around and like touches the walls, and then as soon as you feel it's okay, it's just that stare comes back and you just sense that she's
I let out a yawn.
Yeah.
And then so she's coming up the rear, right?
she's at the
That's
back.
what she
Yeah.
said.
And so what I'll do is I'll flutter down, and when Drock isn't watching, I'm just gonna like lie on Fig's body that he's dragging along, and just like as he's dragging the body along, just stare at Fiora.
Mm. She does meet your gaze a few times and just sort of shakes her head and then looks up at the group. So you get back that bend and sort of come back into the prison cells.
Yep.
The 4 corpses of the 3 corpses and one very, very drained, husk of one gnoll are on the ground. What gear you didn't take is around. There's as I said, each of the cages has about a 5 foot long chain. That if you were inside of it, you could attach it to like person's hand, like bring them up like this, and have them suspended within the chain. And there's a little tiny pulley mechanism at the top that can come down each side, so you can do that and then like tie it off. Other than that, there's nothing else. You
Okay.
pick this place clean, and it's pretty much bare bones.
Okay.
And then you have the pathway heading up.
So before we head onwards, so first of all, are the chains detachable from the pulling?
Yeah, they look like they're just loose. You could just like literally grab it and
Yeah.
just pull. Right now, they're kind of just wrapped loosely around the top of the cage. You just
Yeah.
undo that and then unfurl it, and they're not actually attached to the pulley anyway.
Okay. O ye of great strength.
Yes!
And great height. Can you grab those chains for me?
But of course.
Throw Fig.
Just put him on the ground. Put him on the ground. I will keep an eye on him. I need to start drawing some stuff up anyway in order to enact my ritual. If we get my gear back, I can
Yeah.
get him back on his feet.
I run a hand down his face. You are in good hands, my friend. And I go get the chains.
As you walk away, because your passive perception is so terrible.
Hey, terrible. It's low. Yes.
It's not super great.
Folks out there with low
There's
perception.
just that moment where Fiore sits there and caresses Fig's face as well and just goes, yes, very good hands.
Oh no.
So what I'll basically direct everyone to do is basically get the guards that are kind of lying against the walls and things, and basically just stick them back in the cages, close them up as well as we can, and just kind of, if we can, sort of arrange like whatever pieces of cloth or hoods or whatever, so it kind of looks like they're just kind of sitting there miserable in the corner.
Should we take off their clothes as well?
Well, if they're meant to be, well, not human, if they're meant to be us, then we arguably want them to look plausibly like us, which they won't do if they're covered in fur. So
We should shave them.
we should leave whatever clothes are here on them.
Zink!
Shall I put on some clothes?
That might help, especially anyone who's walking behind you.
Very good.
And so at least, this way, if someone comes down, then, well, hopefully they might not notice. They might not notice that it's not us immediately.
Where's my food?
When we get out of here.
Was that the deal?
That was absolutely the deal.
Oh, fuck. Start flipping through my booking for the contract.
I'm going to follow Siren's directions and start chucking gnolls in cages. Weekend at Bernie style.
Yeah, I'll sort of help. And
Takes a
then,
couple minutes, not too difficult to pull them. They're large creatures, but you get them done.
Are they
You get
wearing
them done.
what, pants?
They have hide armor, so yeah, they've got like makeshift armor that's kind of made out of like hide leathers of different creatures and stuff like that. Bears, wolves, that stuff.
Ooh, I get some fur pants?
Yeah.
Yeah, sick.
Yeah.
Fur pants.
you get some sweet short shorts.
Yeah.
It's just
Very short shorts.
Yeah. And then, Saren will basically pick up a handful of chains and kind of throw one to each of you. Basically, do your best to wrap that around your wrists. Don't lock yourself in, for the love of God. But at least this way, from a distance, we might actually stand a chance of looking like we belong. Because if I'm leading you, hopefully less people are going to ask.
Oh, Druck understands.
Remind me, does Siren currently look like a gnoll?
Siren
Yeah.
very much currently looks like a gnoll.
Have you looked like a gnoll the whole time?
Yeah.
That
Oh, I know.
you've known them, yes.
Yes. Yep, cool. Just blocking that image of a gnoll in my head.
Into the twitchy nose.
I don't see anybody the chains.
Yeah, I didn't expect you to, I'll be very honest. Okay. Are you ready?
I mean, it looks fine. Can you? Yeah, there's some damage on the back of his head. Can you not have him dragging around the shoulders?
Yes, if that is best for Fig,
Yeah.
that is what I will do.
If you want him in the best condition, we need to be more careful.
And I don't know, maybe try and look a bit more forlorn about it. Because you are, to your advantage, very, very stoic about this whole thing. But you don't exactly look like someone who's just lost a dear friend to outsiders.
No,
To
you look,
die-
like, you look like somebody who wants to have dinner.
To die in battle does enrich one's soul.
Daddy!
Oh my God.
Honorable.
To be eaten by one's companions is an honor
But-
reserved for the highest of warriors.
But pretend, sad, meek prisoners.
But this does not make sense.
But pretend.
Did you say?
Why would one do this?
Did you say 8?
Yes,
I'll eat it.
grand.
This is not the meal I promised you.
No. You want him alive, right? You can't eat your friend.
Why
I mean,
not?
you can if you want, but then he doesn't come back.
Oh, this is a shame. Great spirit, may I ask
It
that
depends. Like I said,
I'm communing with my god, thank you very much.
she's just like,
This one,
all I'm
this one is a
saying
great warrior, and
is that-
I owe him a debt. I ask that we hold off from consuming him as befits the code until we work out if he may be brought back from the cold clutches of the afterlife.
Fine.
And I start, sort of sneakily, but not so sneakily in stature, walking back towards the knoll, sort of the pen, the hyena den thing.
where's he going? Where? Your
This way.
fairy guy's leaving us.
Don't tie him to me, thank you.
I'm totally tying to you.
And just out of
This way.
curiosity, is the hyena den in a totally different direction?
The hyena den was downstairs.
That's
So you
it.
come
Yeah,
back
right
up to the
upstairs.
prison,
Yeah,
and
yeah.
then you want to go up.
Yeah. So I'm sort of creeping my way over there.
Just nonchalantly, slide.
Calebon. We're going upwards. You want the meal? Very good. We're going upwards.
I turn around, sort of about face, and then my wings start flapping, and I actually just start taking off down the hall.
I mean, it's about as good as we're gonna get.
Theo gestures for you to go, and this is like, I'll keep up the rear as normal. I just really want my shit back, and we need to get the actual living hell out of here. Living hells out of here.
Yeah, close enough.
I'm sick of it. I'm at least a little bit more, you can see I'm calmer, because I've got use of my hands. I can actually fuck shit up if I need it.
You're not murdering anyone at the moment.
Not yet, because murdering is only, it's practical. I'm a very pragmatic individual. I know when to use my murdering and when not to use the murdering. That Noel, and she points at the husk that's now in one of the prison cells, deserved it, and the next one will deserve it as well. Until that point, there's 5 of us, plus the unconscious dead one.
His name is Fig.
Fig,
Latex.
I do understand that there needs to be a level of cooperation, even with something insufferable like that little thing that's... he's moving on. We should probably keep
You
on
hear a
moving.
loud whistle coming from up the hallway.
Anyway,
Onwards. And so, Corbin upstairs, torch at the ready again, and just one of the ends of the front chain just kind of held in hand behind me,
Yep.
pretending to tug everyone along.
Yep.
And see where we go.
so this tunnel heads up, and again, this one sort of goes off to the right. It's the same sort of heading that the bottom one was, but the bottom one becomes a sharp turn. And you notice that this one almost immediately sort of bows out to the right, but then dips down a little bit and then goes straight. And as you do, you realize that there's an exit to the tunnel that comes out onto a ledge, and you can see the ledge must be at the top or on a high part of the wall of the hyena den pen. So as you sort of come up to the end of it and look down, you can see below you the scene which you saw through the gates. They're all sort of moving around. The white creature has disappeared completely, but you see this massive trail of blood sort of going through the middle and then into one of the tunnels.
Oh, that fills me with so much confidence.
And that was about the kind of location that we saw it take down the other hyena, right?
It killed the hyena where it was at the start of that blood trail, and it's obviously dragged it off somewhere else. You also notice the ledge sort of just goes straight, but it goes up on an incline, and there's a very rusty sort of holes at a couple of sort of intersections, and then a chain sort of against it for support. It's quite narrow, probably only 2 feet wide, so you kind of got to like really get in amongst it. But at the end, it looks like there's another opening. You can't really see what's in it because it kind of curves away, but then you notice that there's 3 massive circular chutes that come on the other side of the wall to where you are. And you notice just sort of down from one of those chutes, there's a bit of a wire that comes down to basically what looks like a bell. No bigger than maybe a foot size. And as you arrive, the bell goes ding, 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 ding. And as it goes off, you watch all the hyenas underneath start to yip and yell in a cacophony that fills the entire cavern. They start running in from different directions. There wasn't 12, there's more like 30, 50 all of a sudden. The big white one comes out, some of the crotters, the big purple creatures come out of other tunnels. It's an absolute maelstrom of fur and flesh, kind of clamoring on each other, trying to get a good position. As the white one comes out though, they all immediately scatter, and it's kind of like this tunnel that it leads through the mass of a hyena gets knocked into its path, and it kind of just immediately lunges forward and it kills it within a second, throwing it behind it before continually moving on until it's at the front of this mass of writhing hyenas and fur. One of the chutes, it's made out of some sort of wood, sort of creaks open, and you see body parts start to fall down into the cave. A slosh of giblets just splashing down. Feet, legs, arms, heads, torsos cut into different sort of sections. All humanoid as far as you can tell. Just coming down into this mass, and then a feeding frenzy erupts as the creatures lunge over each other, trying to grab what they can. Some are like tearing at the same piece, kind of having a battle. Muscle sinew is stretched, blood is just splattered everywhere as it becomes an absolute maelstrom of feeding below you. The chute closes, creaking wood closing, and then the bell ding, 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 stops. The feeding frenzy continues below. What are you guys doing?
I look straight at Siren, Noel, get up close and nose, and say,
Your meal better be good. That looks like a good feed.
Fiora's just
By all means, feel free to fight for it.
Is there
you go on down there and have dinner with them.
Which is it?
They'd love to have
What? Do you want me or you don't want me? Because I'll fucking go.
I want you to.
Fine, fuck you.
You don't. I am so conflicted right now. You know the way. Stay with us.
Thank you. Is the meal good? It's better than that meal.
It is by definition good.
How much gooder are we talking?
I mean, it has good in the name.
Can't argue with that logic.
Did Druk recognize any of their body parts?
No.
Or was it just mincemeat?
Pure Quake 1 gore.
Yeah. That giblet.
Pixelated.
Giblet was such a coin term in like Unreal Tournament.
Yeah.
You come up and just like flat cannon somebody and they just go.
Yeah, I mean, it's the whole phrase, you give someone, right?
Give somebody. It was essentially that, just a massive slurry of body parts that were very nondescript.
I
doesn't
feel like
know
even
anything
without a
about
history check, I'd know that this looked like a pretty good offering compared to some of the food that I'd seen come through previously.
Yeah, potentially. Yeah.
We should probably keep moving.
I flutter off as you start speaking.
So as you're moving, it becomes abundantly clear that the mass below you pays no heed whatsoever to your group moving down up this very narrow sort of ledge. As you sort of look down, every so often, some hyenas have moved off, either having their fill or have their own piece of meat that they're kind of like bounding away. One goes with like a leg, and then two others follow it before they start fighting near one of the tunnels. The big white one has grabbed as much as it can, and it's more, and is moving back down where you once saw that trail of blood down another tunnel, and it just disappears down. It's the only one that uses that tunnel. And they kind of start to just slowly disperse. The feeding frenzy keeping their attention very, very well. You arrive at the tunnel entrance, which opens into another smaller cabin, and for lack of a better word, you would dub it a butchery. It's a low ceiling. You just get this massive stench of rot, death on the nose, of body parts, of blood. It's so strong that you can taste the iron just in your mouth. There is wooden benches strewn around in this space, huge racks of metal cutting implements, butchery knives, other sort of spikes, pokes, knives of various descriptions, hooks, sort of line a massive tapestry of the roof, connected from stalactite to stalactite, and hooked underneath them like a meat store. It's just like torsos of people that are they're obviously in the process of dismemberment. They've lost parts, but the hooks are like through shoulders, and they're just like there. One's missing an arm, one's missing a leg, one's missing everything but the main torso. One is just like a head and a shoulder, and the neck kind of like just dangling off the side by just a few muscle sinews. As you can see right at the back corner, a knoll, very large, heavy-set knoll with blood-splattered fur, dark black fur, turns, and he's got like an apron, very tiny white apron, and he gets like a big meat cleaver, and he just grabs one of the corpses, pulls an arm out, and just starts hacking into one of the arms. It's at that moment you realize it's Bingo.
That he's hacking into. Well, there goes the joke I was going to Should I still make it?
Yeah, sure.
Surely.
Does his tiny apron have the knowledge version of Kiss the Cook on it? We'll have to wait, guys. So Bingo is already dead.
Long dead, and he's missing a lot of body parts.
Drux feels sad that he couldn't consume the whole of Bingo. Bingo.
There is this momentary, like, just in your heart, even just the shock of it, and then it switches over to just, oh, I could have eaten him.
And then it...
Idiargus, who's been with you the whole time, not really said much, kind of sits there and, like, puts his head back against, like, the wall, away, back down the thing a little bit, and goes, and he's just, like, wide-eyed, white-faced. Fiore looks at him and goes, what the hell's wrong with him?
Has the butcher seen us yet?
Nah, it doesn't seem like it.
Alright. Well, Drook is gonna rage.
Yep.
But it's a quiet rage. It's a seething hatred rage.
It's the passive aggressive rage.
So I pull out my dagger, and I sort of quietly, because I'm actually trying to be a little bit stealthy as I flutter through them. I look at Druck and I go,
Truck doesn't see him at all. He's got blinkers on, and he's just walking towards this hyena. Does he have his back to us?
He's kind of sideways, so are you doing a stealth check?
I don't think so. No, I'm raging.
Okay. So as you're just seething, walking in, you see the gnoll sort of hack. He's got the arm now, and he turns and he sees you coming into the room, and he just starts like yippering in sort of a gnollish, which none of you would understand. You obviously do not get the language as part of your transformation.
No.
Not abyssal this time. It's more guttural, just gnoll sort of hyena yells. And he holds up the meat cleaver and sort of lunges at you. What do you
So
do?
as I'm walking towards him, my rage, because I am one of the giant kin,
Definitely.
I get bigger. I go
Calmness.
from like already, I become more draconic.
You have to like duck underneath the things, so you push some of the corpses through. He kind of like comes up, stops for a second, and then sees how big you've got him, and starts trying to move back, but he's now within your range.
Yep. So
It's just a quiet Druck, what the
I'm going to take the spear, which I took from one of the gnolls, and ram it through him.
Go for it.
All right. So can I Yeah, I'm going to reckless.
Yeah, reckless.
The original question.
Always reckless.
The original question was, can I reckless
Russell's
while I
just,
do
like,
a
looking
ranged
like-
attack? But I don't need to because he's in range.
He's in range. You can just stab him.
very angry.
And yes, reckless is melee attack.
Bad.
So that's going to be a 18 plus a bunch of stuff.
Plus 1 million.
That is definitely going to hit. We now have a martial weapon now, so you add your proficiency and your strength modifier.
Yeah, so it's a plus 7.
25 hits.
So 1d8 plus 4, and I'm also going to use Strike of the Giants.
Okay.
Once per turn, when you hit a target with a melee weapon or a ranged attack thrown, you can imbue the attack with an additional effect. The target takes 1d6 lightning damage. If it is a creature, it must succeed on a Constitution saving throw at disadvantage on attack rolls until the start of your next turn.
Too easy. Make the attack, and I'll do his con save.
So we go d6,
He's probably made that.
d8. I missed the thing completely.
It's the emotion.
So much rage. Just throws it at the table.
Oh, and there's a d6 for rage, isn't it?
It's just your rage bonus.
How did
What
your
is
dice
what's
get-
that?
Plus 3 damage, I think, at this level.
Plus 3? Okay.
Yeah.
So that is a 14
It doesn't.
piercing and
Yeah.
5 lightning damage.
Nice. Look, that's enough. For just an immediate spear. I guess, how do you do it? Go for it.
Oh, flying, yeah. Because he's coming at him. The whole idea was just like a straight line, so I just nail him to the chopping board, the wood,
Yep.
whatever it is.
Like
the
grab him,
scallion
move
line.
him over to one of the things, and just
Bang.
straight through the throat.
You're not gonna
Blood
catch
gurgles up as he tries to scream out, but it's just more just blood coughing up and gurgling as it sort of chokes on it and tries to move itself. But the spear's kind of just gone straight through the wood and underneath as he just slowly. The arm of Bingo slips out of its hand, as does the butcher knife, and it goes limp.
For bingo.
Oh, bingo.
Yeah, well, that's me.
I'll fly over to the now, how would you do? The pinned, impaled.
Impaled, yeah.
No,
Pinned him.
and I'll just like
Impaled pinned.
Okay, like float. It's just,
It's amazing watching the light go from their eyes.
Wow, that is terrifying.
Amazing.
now that apron.
Yep.
Is it fairy size?
No, not that small. You can wear it, but it's more like
Wow, that is.
yeah. It definitely looks like the knoll is a sizably bigger sort of person than Binga, and it looks like Binga's one that he used to wear.
Right.
Smells lovely.
Human size.
What an awful day to have a nose.
Flowers.
I don't know. The dried pits sometimes smell like this as well. Anyway, your friend is back there having a mental breakdown. Just by the way.
Yeah, no. Druck. And this sounds very, very strange coming from a gnoll, but Druck, honey, are you okay?
Of course I'm okay.
I don't understand what's going on.
This, and I pick up the hand and like touch it to my own face. My enormous, like draconic form.
Was Bingo. I knew him for a short period of time, but he was a friend and a companion. And he deserved better than this.
As I start to eat.
What is he? What? Oh, Dragonborn. Is it just the Keanu Reeves meme?
Where to sitting on a bench.
Where he's like, I'm sorry. And then continues to eat.
I know what it's like to lose a friend. And look, at some point, if you want a hug, you can let me know.
I just grab you, pull you into
I had finished eating.
really like big hug.
Yes. There we go. And just like, basically just like patting your back at the waist at this point in time. No, not just.
Oh, Drop thanks you. I will do the same for you.
Thank you, Druck. Just, we can make it out of here, and then we can have a memorial for your friend.
I just did.
Yes. Okay. Very good. I'm glad that you were able to work through your emotions this way. Are you okay now?
Yes, we hugged. I avenged Bingo's death. I honored him as a great warrior should be. Everything is well now.
Well, not everything.
Very good. Yeah.
Dinner.
Are we out? Yes.
Let's go.
Let's go.
So exiting, this sort of space cave area with the butchery
Space cave.
Space cave. The space of a cave. There's like a second section that's a little bit further along. That's another space about the same, but there's not really much in it. But there are three sort of pathways. There are small wooden sort of like sort of doors on each one, very makeshift, very crappily made, very rotted away. One looks like it's set back, that leads a bit further upwards. One goes off to the right, east, and then the other one, west, and then the other one probably east, which seems to go sort of around the giant cave of hyenas and their pens down below, in that direction. But you don't, with the doors closed, you don't know exactly the topography of them.
So as everyone catches up, they'll find me sitting there. It's just stroking my beard, floating.
I forgot. How long is your beard? Do you have like a
It's
long?
not a big, like knotted. If you really look closely, you'd see that there was probably some small things in it. Definitely not immaculately kept. High quality beard hair.
I was just thinking of like a Gandalf beard.
It's pretty long.
And you are a fairy, so is it longer than you and like flaps in the breeze?
It's kind of like it's probably been like coarsely chopped off from getting caught on things, so it's kind of like disheveled. So I'm stroking my disheveled beard as I'm fluttering on the spot, looking at the doors.
Well, which way do we go?
Schnack, ali clap clap.
Common?
You have no fucking idea, do you?
Where is the nearest tavern?
What?
It's the only question. Why is it relevant? It's the only question that matters.
This is a wise thing to know in any language.
I don't know. I don't even know where this is in relation to the upper sort of world. The Underdark, closest tavern.
That one.
Insight check. Does he know?
Roll a d3. So that's a d6 and half the result.
What sorcery is this?
I got a 3, which was kind of.
So that would be the east one. So he's taking you out in a direction that goes where the pit is, and you can see the chutes are right next to where the door is. That goes that way. But you didn't see another ledge or anything on that other side of the cave, and so you obviously assume it's behind that.
Russell's gonna do an insight check to see if he actually knows where he's going.
And I'm going to do to see. I want to know if I notice the scrutiny of Confidence Bird.
You can do an insight check to inside her check, or you can do obviously a deception.
I do that.
Okay.
That's a dirty 20.
You beat me.
So you do not notice the scrutiny, but you may do a persuasion or a deception check, depending on if you actually know what you're doing, or...
No idea.
Yeah, no idea. Okay, that's good. So yeah, you don't believe that shit. He knows where he's going.
Yeah, Russell's head is just kind of like how birds do. Bullshit. That's all he says.
Are you sure it's that way?
Yeah.
He's been the one who's
Wrong.
been here, I guess. What?
Bird calls bullshit.
Bird calls bullshit. Bird calls bullshit.
Has the bird got any confidence yet?
I mean, he is called...
Russell.
Russell.
You did call him Confidence Bird.
It's his name.
So, by definition, he has confidence.
If this is not where our gear is, I'm going to be incredibly upset. And you won't have to kill the fairy.
Oh, such a shame. Oh, Drow.
Bears a deep. She's like,
Drow.
Alright.
Fury?
Yes.
Don't punch the fairy.
Oh, I wasn't going to punch him.
I come over and I come closer. You're gonna be okay.
She immediately just like flashes like a shocking grass spell at you, which isn't designed to hit, but it just flares in front of you to push you away.
And I just,
She's
I
like-
kind of like just, I stare it down there.
Always okay. She's
It's like that moment in
Yeah.
basketball where the dude goes to like throw the ball at Kobe's face and
Yeah,
he doesn't move.
he's just like she just grabs you and pushes you away. Yeah. She's like, can we go, please?
Yeah, I'll just gently tug on the chains.
Oh yeah.
Oh.
Forgot about the chain.
Onwards to adventure.
Okay. So you're.
Do you guys
you're
follow? Do they follow my door though?
Oh, that's a good question. Actually, are you going in the one he's pointing out?
Druckwill.
There is... So, hear me out. You're going to argue with me if we don't follow the fairy. You're convinced you know where you're going with alarming accuracy.
Cannibal.
The fairy. And frankly, my guess is as good as any. So,
We can go that way. I don't care.
I can roll a bunch of dice. I got some dice in my pockets. And I pull out a set of dice. And I throw down a d6 and say, halve it. And I give it to Siren. With a real flourish.
A boon of the Fae.
And it is made of bones.
gift of the Fae. No. No.
Confidence, but
What do you want me to do with it?
roll half result. Or half six. One. Oh.
She grabs the dice and just flicks it towards one of the chutes. You might be able to get there if you do me an athletics check or an acrobatics check.
Can I do that for him?
You could do the same. Yeah.
No, Druck, don't.
Yeah. Get a-
Am I still raging?
No, that would have suicided.
Athletics, or what was the other one?
Sadly, the mechanic doesn't include emotional damage. Just the athletics, yeah.
That is a 16.
Easy. You sort of lunge across and grab it out in the air, and she just looks at you and just goes,
You drop this.
"No, you can roll it."
I look kind of
He's like
sad.
holding it with shaking hands, like,
His eyes
Don't mess this up, Chuck.
I believe in you, Druck.
What happens when a fey gift is gifted to somebody else? What happens when a gift of the Fae is accepted, but it's just discarded and given to somebody else?
I think it generally brings bad omens to the person who got rid of it.
Great spirit. I think
Or transfers to the other person.
I think I might have done something wrong. I got a 1.
So that's the west one.
Cool! And I head off to that door.
Okay.
But
Excellent.
as I go past, I just
Cool.
from the shoulder.
So you come up to the door. You kind of just slide through them. Like there's a couple of just raggedy, sort of broken, sort of
I kind of
wooden panels. You just do a
Backstroke.
backflip through it. Next person comes up, probably Drew, grabs it, tears it off its hinges. It's very, very flimsy, and just puts it to the side. And you come into just a straight tunnel. It's actually quite worked. There are light sconces every probably 20 or so feet, keeping it well lit. And then
on brand.
yeah.
Can we get a clip
Start.
of that, please?
Yeah. Well, for context viewers, that was coined in our Monday night sessions, which Aaron is very aware of as a person who's been with my Monday crew for 4 years or so.
Every one of
And every single
The
time
renown.
anybody said well lit, the entire table except your brother would dab, and he'd be very upset because he hates dabs.
it was amazing.
And that is why we do it. So anyway, a little bit of random context there for our viewers out there. You start heading down the tunnel, and that, I believe, is a good time for us to take a short 10-minute break. So stay tuned, everybody. We are going to be right back in just 10 minutes. We're going to have a quick break, get ourselves some food, some drinks, some toilets, whatever it is, and I'll have to reset up this encounter map because I was hoping you would fight the hyenas.
Derailment.
Totally fine. Because it was not going to be a good time. So bear with us. We'll be back in 10 minutes. Peace out. we're back, ladies and gentlemen. Thank you all for hanging in there. Mike's having an existential crisis. Actually, you know what's annoying? I had to set up the battle map. I didn't even get munchies, so people might hear me just rummaging around.
Throw snacks at him!
I'm going home.
Snacks at him!
I'm going home. See ya. I'm getting auto.
Alright, so you're heading down the tunnel that you took. That was you can only assume is kind of a westerly one, so off to the left after you come out of the butchery room is essentially what you would classify that as. It's pretty steady, this tunnel, but eventually comes up to a sort of roughly hewn staircase, and at the top of it is another wooden sort of door that's slightly ajar at the moment, and you can start to hear voices, muffled voices from the space above.
I stop everyone. And in a deceptively normal voice, I ask the following question. So what exactly is up with the Imperium and not liking magic users here?
I didn't think that was a thing. What?
What's up with that?
I mean, to be fair, I don't know.
My main spell is to punch things hard, and I've never been told off about that.
So all I know is that we had. Look, I come from a very, very remote place.
Yes, me too. Been there a while.
So all I know is that whenever we were traveling to towns, we were told to keep quiet. But honestly,
Why is that the common wisdom here, though? Where I'm from, it's not so, and I've been...
There's shuffling footsteps behind, and you hear this, because it's about the divine. The Empire believes the divine are the righteous, and the only way one should acquire such power, as you turn and see Eviagus there, still kind of in shock and white-faced, a little bit of vomit just dripping down the thing you didn't quite notice. And he's kind of, you feel like he's been trailing you for a little bit, but he's now come into the scene, hearing some stuff about the Imperium being talked about. I'm a Templar, and it is our divine purpose to make sure that magic is controlled and used in the right way, dictated by the gods.
My face changes, and I get up in his face. You gotta lock me up, boy! Oh my God. You gotta lock me up!
And Fiora's just like, maybe you should. And then Aviaris looks at you and just goes, what? No, I just want to get out of here. Seeing Bingo.
You look like one of them, no?
One what?
Imperium.
I'm a Templar.
I say again, you gotta lock me up, boy!
Calibon, leave it be.
No, I just want to get out of here. I don't care what any of you guys do. I just want to get out.
Don't do these ones.
I haven't been the Templar for very long, and I didn't expect to see such horrors. He kind of just puts his hand in his head and kind of just walks around for a little bit, kind of having a mild panic attack.
I put a hand on Eviagus' shoulder. Eviagus,
Yes,
it was a terrible thing that we saw,
yes.
but Bingo would have wanted us to go on.
Yes. No. As the acting Imperium liaison here, I authorize any use of type of magic. The cult must be stopped. Any cost is necessary. It has gone far beyond. What they are doing here is barbaric.
Yeah.
Fairy, you are allowed to use whatever magics. I will not cite you. I will not lock you up. You are protected under my guidance, as is decreed by the divine and the triumvirate.
Also,
Fiore just like looking at everyone going, zealots. Everybody, zealots. Cultists, zealots. Fucking Imperials, zealots. Zealots. Yes, what can you do?
No.
And Noel's just like,
So I peek over the thing in the door. What do I see?
so you see basically another large sort of cave. It's a cross section that's kind of been carved out as best as it can to make way for a so there's a mining cart track through the middle, and on either side you can see there's another tunnel that extends upwards. Some more makeshift sort of staircases. And then obviously the mining tracks come from a tunnel to the right and left. So it's basically a four-way juncture on the same level. This area seems like it's carved out really well, but stalactites and stalagmites have kind of started to grow in based on the moisture and the water sort of build up in this area. Inside there are a few gnolls moving around. From what you can see, there is, and I might actually, what we could do, because there is a map for this,
What? Where?
right there.
like
So,
magic, illegal
whoa,
magic.
and then everybody online can see too.
Yeah. Good thing that Eviagus gave you a pass.
I get magic.
So, you can see there's two cultist individuals that Druk you recognize, sort of talking. They're over here,
They are the cultists. They wear black robes, but
and
they
they're
are
talking
weak.
currently to
This is my quiet voice.
two very large sort of gnolls.
Very cool.
Just in converse, one of the gnolls is next to like this barrel that they are currently just dipping their hand in, pulling out, and there's just visceral meat, like raw meat, and it just starts chewing away at it.
That's a big barrel.
There's a pack of hyenas sort of just sleeping around the space. So there's one there sleeping, and then there's one here sleeping,
On the tracks.
and one here sleeping.
Silly dogs.
And you also see. No, I think that was it. Let me just check.
Where are the red exploding barrels?
Yeah! Everywhere. No.
Yes.
No, that's
and
it.
the ledges with the yellow line on them, so we know we can jump up.
Where are those? Mark those with your laser pointer.
Not there. So this is.
I cast
this-
very far.
So
and
this is a
it's like-
jar, and you're currently looking through it. The rest of you are just down below the threshold there on the stairs, sort of after having that discussion. And I might as well grab a Gnoll mini so I remind myself that you are a Gnoll.
Also, it looks more like a door than a jar to me.
Sorry?
It looks more like a door than a jar to me.
Yeah. So yes, that is the scene that you see before you, Calon.
I turn back to the group and I survey the state of their weapons. Has anybody who's got weapons?
I have a spear.
I think I took a shield.
Did anybody pick up any weapons from the butchery?
No.
So
I have one of the spears.
you have a spear.
You didn't pick up any weapons.
Confidence bird got no weapons.
Confidence bird too confident for weapons.
Yeah, that's right. Fisticuffs or feather cuffs.
It's a
Fiora
magic bird.
and Iviaga.
She grabbed a
Yes,
she grabbed a
fireball as a
spear.
catch.
Iviagus grabbed a spear and tried to. He's got a bit of the hide armor over the top of the rags that his undergarments they left. Sorry, Fiore grabbed the longbow and the quiver, but it only seems to have about 6 shots in it.
I turn to the group and I say, "Coast is clear."
You heard him. Let's get in there.
And I flutter back from the door.
Drock heads up to the door
Yep.
and he starts to slowly open it.
The door makes a very indiscernible like creak, as it's very, very like crappy. And one of the gnolls that's got the viscera in it sort of looks over and drops it and just yells in Gnollish at the group. The cultists whirl around and see a dragonborn at the door. And we will roll initiative.
Great.
Yes!
Great spirit. It appears you might have made a mistake.
So,
I mean,
I'm sorry, what did you say?
not a mistake. When you said the coast was clear, it appears not to be. In your undiscernible wisdom, I'm sure there was a great reason for it. Oh, a great one.
Did I not specify which coast is clear? I'm talking about the ocean that way. I did a weather check.
And I do have that ability with my
yeah.
aircraft. And it'd be clear.
Oh, that is good news.
Wisdom sometimes
I should not have doubted you.
be hard to fathom. Too grounded in where you are.
Punch the fae. Punch the.
That's funny.
7, 10.
1 second. And I have to. Yeah, this is why. It's my problem.
They are tasty.
Cool. Okay. Just need to add Fiore, and we can start this battle. Alright, Druk, initiative.
Dirty 20.
Nice. Libiagus. Excellent. 4. Siren.
7.
Doing well. Russell.
12.
Doing even better. Caliban.
Dirty 20.
Nice. And a bunch of stuff there. Bibiangus' sheet. Yep, is up to date. That's good. In that case, ladies and gentlemen, we will hit start on that. And as what's your plus, Druk?
My plus is 2.
Plus 2. What's your plus, Caliban?
4.
I give it the difference anyway.
Caliban definitely goes first, and the dex of this guy is slightly less than usual, so he'll go after you. So we have at the top of the round, Caliban. As you've moved away back here, doors creaked open, and now there is a Dragonborn there, and everybody is alerted. The hyenas are kind of just down on the ground at the moment, but they are aware of your presence.
Okay. So across the way there, I see a group of culty individuals.
These guys, yep.
Yes. They look like they roughly be within 20 feet of each other if I pick a spot within 120 feet.
Yeah, probably.
And I cast
Fireball!
Excellent. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. That cultist count spells.
can I cancel?
You cannot.
Motherfucker.
So you watch as in the doorway you start to incant something, words of power come through. He pulls out the staff and immediately words spill from his mouth and your spell is dissipated.
And I still suck a spell slot for that, right?
You definitely do.
Son of a... kind of like just drums his fingers on the side of the door.
Great. He yells out in Bissell, which I think Druk understands. He's just like, it seems the prisoners of Arakarina have escaped. We need to kill them and hold them here. Get reinforcements.
They aim to kill and hold us.
It is what you're doing with Fig.
Okay, and so, is it? Where's the nearest hyena?
Just this one here.
Okay, cool. So what I will do is I will float back in.
Back this way.
Yep, just sort of off to the side of the
Out of
door.
the way. Yep. There's no line of sight there unless they get to like here or something.
Yep.
So you sort of come up to the door to cast your spell fireball, but then the sorceress cultist over there dispels the spell. Drog, on the other hand, it is your turn. You can do the things.
Oh, the things. All the things.
The thing.
So hyena there, hyena there, hyena there, and then 2 cultists there, and then 2 gnolls there.
Right. And so the obstacles, all the stalagmites and various things, are they?
Yeah. As
Insurmountable?
as pictured.
Yeah. Obstacles.
Yeah. So they count as what's called difficult terrain. So if you want it, you can go through that space, but it will take the two spaces. So
Okay.
sometimes it's better to go.
How far is it to get up to the stone bit of the pathway where the train track is on?
This one?
Yep.
It is 10, 20, 30, 45.
45.
Yes.
Right. I am going to not rage and duck back inside the doorway, following Great Spirit's lead.
Back in front of you.
No, other side.
Other side?
Yeah. And kind of report back to the rest of the group about the numbers I kind of see in there. So I'm going to kind of give them all an update about all the hyenas, gnolls, and cultists I see.
Fiore's just like, shit. Gnolls and hyenas should be a bit of a pushover, but if there's a spellcaster in there, we need to focus him down as quickly as we can.
And then the only other thing I'm going to do the rest of my turn is use some of my cunning as a Dragonborn barbarian and put on a weak voice that says something along the lines of,
Oh no! I'm so scared. I definitely hope they don't come this way and eat us.
Sure. It is now just a general cultist maneuver.
I can't. No performance check. No nothing. Just succeed.
No, I'd say this is a success. Because I think they're going to come anyway.
This is why they call me the smartest Dragonborn in the
Yeah.
tribe.
As Optimus Prime says, I have come.
I did actually watch that after reading
How this is
gross.
Ladies and gentlemen, we're here for the recommendations of all of you. Only me though. Don't
Listen to anybody else.
don't listen to anybody else. So we have Cultist here. He is he's just got that call from his master, and he's going to whip around this way and start running towards that door. So he's going to do 2 things. He's going to move, which will get him all the way up to the door. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. He'll actually have to dash, which means he will not be able to open the door this turn. So he dashes, starts running around the corner, comes up to the door, and he's got his hand on the sort of the makeshift handle, and looks like he is going to try and get through there on the next turn. In the meantime, we'll move down to Russell's turn.
So how far away is the guy running to that door?
That door, he is 10, 20, 30, 40, 50, 60, 70, 80, 90, 100, 120 from where you currently stand.
Firebolt.
You got a fireball?
Yeah.
So you're going to run up to the top here and drop it on him.
Yeah.
You'll be able to get probably $2 there.
Out of curiosity,
Look at that.
was the person who counterspelled me under 60 feet away?
No, he was over 60. He was under 60 feet away.
He was.
So where you were here, that is 10, 20, 30, 40, 50. Yeah. He won't be able to counterspell her anyway because he has used his reaction
24
to
to hit.
counterspell your one. 5 bolts or 5 ball?
Bolt.
5 bolts. Oh. I will remove that.
No, I can make it fireball.
If you really wanted to.
Yes.
Anyway, sorry. Yes, a 24 wounds. That is correct.
Do you have fireball?
But you
I
said-
do have fireball.
Always fireball.
Yes.
Always fireball.
Always. But do what you want to.
It's an unwritten Fey rule.
Aaron, the choice is yours. Well,
Actually, keep it firebolt because you have had not an opportunity to procure the material components
Yeah.
for a firebolt spell, which you would have on yourself because you have an arcane focus. She doesn't have an arcane focus, therefore she would need bat guano and a bunch of other things,
That it will be.
which you can find here, but you haven't specifically tried to look for spell components.
Thanks, Dungeon Master. Thank you.
But go for damage, 2d10 for fire to kill that cultist.
There's no arcane component for my spell. I cast Fist.
Yeah, exactly. No, the fist is the arcane component, which as long as you don't lose your hand, you'll be fine.
What happened there?
10, 11, 12, 13.
You can't fist.
You stop.
17 damage.
17 damage? Excellent. So that guy comes up to the door, puts his hand on the door, and this fiery blast streaks across the room, basically illuminating the space a nice yellow, unlike the purple that's been emanating from the crystal clusters. Slams into his back, he goes slamming into the door and crumples to the ground.
Ha
Oh yeah.
And that will be everything for Russell's turn.
Excellent.
Russell is doing.
Tasted blood.
Hooray! Fiore's just gonna be like, okay.
Later on.
Goodness knows how or why.
She just sort of runs up, gets in front of the fairy, and starts sort of rubbing her hands together, and basically is just going to, she's going to hold a spell there. She's like, as soon as something comes around the door, I am going to get it. A bunch of hyenas will now go, as they get up, taking half movement. That one will get up, that one will get up, that one will get up, and then the movement of a hyena is a good question. It's 50 feet, so 25 feet, thanks to them being prone at the start. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. 2, 3, 4, 5. And we're just going to run over here. 1, 2, 5. So he watches the hyenas. One of the gnolls makes this whistle. They get up and they start bounding towards the door. So they're all kind of in that line there, and that is the end of their turn as they hold an action as well. The gnolls will then go before Siren, also getting weapons ready, 2 axes, some spears, and moving in. 1, 2, 3, 6, 30 feet for the gnolls, yep. And also dash. And he sort of comes up flanking this door here. 12, and this one will come up sort of there. So they come running in. You see Fiora gets a side of one as it sort of comes cutting across the way. She just puts herself back. Still got the Eldritch energy cascading over her hands. And she's like, they've got to come inside, damn it. Siren, it is now your turn.
Okay, so Siren will effectively drop the torch, kind of tossing it towards the door.
Yep, just to give you that illumination.
Yep. And for better or for worse, positioning herself in front of the fairy to shield him, and the bird, because many things are far more delicate than a gnoll. Will basically reach out, run one clawed hand across the wall, basically grabbing the drops of moisture.
Yep.
And kind of then making gesture to fling them outwards. Casting Ice Knife towards the gnoll in front of us.
This one?
Yep.
Go for it. That one actually looks at you, sees a gnoll, and kind of goes like this, like that dog tilt, and you just go,
Nice!
and it's like, ah!
It's on you.
Um,
Never see it coming.
sorry, bear with me a second. And that one is a roll to hit, isn't it?
Yeah, the first, it's an initial attack roll.
Yeah.
And then I think it and anything within 5 feet needs to make a dex save for the secondary damage.
Yeah. Okay. So let's go with a not great, so an 11.
An 11 on the knoll will definitely miss as it kind of like throws up one of the axes and hits it up in the air. It still does explode in the space, so they have to make the dex saves. So knoll will get a failure, and the hyena gets a 15.
Okay, so save is 14, so the hyena, weirdly enough.
Yep, you take half damage, and the knoll is copying the full amount of the ice explosion.
So 2d6, so 9 damage total.
9 damage total is enough to kill the hyena anyway.
Yeah.
I should feel bad, but also.
So it kind of like knocks it up, but as it hits the ice knife explodes. It obviously didn't take the piercing strike of the blade, but the some icicles explode out in a small burst. The hyena is just like struck by a bunch of sharp shards and immediately makes a death row yelp before crumbling to the ground. The knoll, still sort of shielding himself, well actually he didn't shield himself, he's kind of gone like this and it's just opened him up to fully take the hit. And he is looking bloody as he cops that.
And, stand there, kind of claws dripping ever so slightly, and quickly snap over to Druck. If you charge, we'll charge together.
Very good.
Yeah.
Very good.
Drunk is proud.
So you watch that. This guy, he sort of moves back a little bit. And in the doorway, he apparates in
Breakfast.
Ooh, breakfast.
Yeah, this.
Some waffles.
Where's that spell? There we go.
Fresh orange juice.
This is the only one he has. So
Croissant coffee.
I can go like a good bacon and egg roll.
There's a place that does breakfast. Is it breakfast ravioli?
What?
No, breakfast gnocchi.
Ooh.
What a great concept, right?
Oh, that's fantastic.
okay.
I'll take
You
potato
watch
with anything.
as he throws out the scepter and sort of dark ichor starts to bleed out from it. He incants in abyssal some very foul spell. I was going to say smell. The ichor sort of slops to the ground, and then the ooze kind of starts to build up before it sort of starts lunging, like it's got a mind of its own, sort of just going across the ground. And as it does, it stops about here and then starts to form up into a large, sort of basically ooze-formed knoll with a sword and shield that kind of just stands in that section. And I need to find the token. There it is. That's there. Except more black oozy and warmish.
Less looking like Gatorade.
He finishes his incantation as he yells to one of the gnolls and goes, he's like, looks around the corner, sees the crumpled form of his other friend and goes, yells out in abyssal, hold them off. He's moved 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. He's going to go right underneath there, making for the door as he backs away.
He's the jerk who
Counterspell.
ruined my fireball moment, didn't he?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Is he gonna get another fireball?
60. So outside of 60 is behind the door, but he's got it covered inside the room. Idiargus' turn. So leaps up, pulls out the spear, charges past, and goes, "These foul creatures must be eliminated!" And he'll get to there before that oozing sort of creature, a sort of bulbous sort of form, lashes out, and he just gets sent into a wall, taking 20 points of necrotic damage immediately. So he just cops that.
That's horrifying.
And he takes it like a champ.
Yeah.
Sorry, Luke.
That's his 60. That's his 30 feet. As he had to move back all the way from the back of the pack, comes out to the front, sort of stands there a bit dazed as the sort of bulbous, sort of black miasma of ooze sort of undulates in front of him. He pulls the spear back and sort of holds an attack to attack a gnoll if it were to move any closer, because he cannot reach any of them at the moment. Caliban, we are back at the top of the round for you.
Caliban!
Alright. So, being the completely sensible and not at all touched fairies that I am, and being brave as well, as incredibly good looking for a hobo fairy, I will cast Fireball.
Oh my god.
Voices in my head told me.
Right there.
As long as I miss Ibiagus.
Yeah.
Is there
Yeah,
any-
if you sort of try and place it right near that back hyena, you'll be able to get the two gnolls. You sort of move yourself out, shoot a small guano ball fire pellet into the space, and it detonates in a cacophonous explosion that reverberates through the entire cabin network.
So I click my fingers as I sort of make a gesture with my dagger across my throat, and then as the explosion goes off, you see Caliban just basking in flaming glory as it's like back this way.
It's just enormous. The shrapnel, the rocks, the pillars explode out. These are just like knocked over. These crystals are just shattered. So roll your damage, and I'm gonna roll up some dex saves. So 2 gnolls. First gnoll, it's gonna fail. Second gnoll,
I've certainly rolled them
also going to fail, and the 2 hyenas, double fail. That's excellent. All fails. So just give me the damage. I think he's cleared them.
Yeah. Okay. So it's 8d6s, right? So
86, yeah.
Yeah, so I got 20, and I need to roll 2 more. So that is 29.
29. As the explosion settles, the charred corpses of the 2 hyenas and the 2 gnolls are all that is left. The black ichor ooze thing in the middle, completely unharmed. But there's now a massive crater in the middle of the cavern. There's a bit of a shudder as the whole space sort of shakes, and little bits of dust start to fall around as the explosion has shook the cavern network to its very core. Palers and other things are sort of start to settle as they are cleared from that space. The explosion of fireball was spectacular, but it was also horrifically loud and has caused a bit of structural unsoundness within the cave network, as part of the sort of the beam overhead of what you guys are just goes, like crumbles down a little bit, but settles itself for a second.
So what I'm going to do is is there a gap there where I can be out of reach of Ichor monster creature thing?
Yeah, you can, to try and go around it.
Yep.
I mean, there's 10 feet to either side of that space, but you don't know what its reach is.
He's not really that brave. I know everyone at home was thinking, yeah, wow, he's really brave fairy.
I think so.
Very convinced, but so he's gonna like whip back around that corner again and just sort of like hide himself behind Noel's sister. Yeah. Yeah, that's a good spot.
I see you there. Fiore just looks at you with stunned expression and just goes, "He's killed us all. They know that. Oh my god, I can't even. I'm completely speechless."
He's just dancing.
Drunk, it's your turn.
Alright, so the ooze creature, completely unharmed, completely unaffected by
It
it.
doesn't seem to have taken a scratch. It's just still sitting there, undulating, with this sort of like oozy form of a sword. It kind of it's like an ooze monster that's kind of come up. It has a more defined sort of gnoll-like top half with a shield and a sword, but the bottom of it is just sort of like an oozing sort of like cascade down into like basically a self sort of regenerating sort of fountain like effect where the ooze is going down, but it's obviously going back up through the middle and sort of like writhing. And as Eviagus got pretty close, it took a big swing at him and just smacked him against the wall.
And it did that with its sword.
Did it with the sword. Yeah.
Alright, cool. So I'm going to rage.
Mm-hmm.
I'm going to do that after I go through the doorway so I don't get stuck because I get bigger. Before I do that though, so I've done this completely the backward, opposite order from what I do. I scream,
Great Spirit, what a mighty attack!
Quack, knack, orack, look, fuck.
Siren,
Excuse you.
battle!
and then I go through the door, I
Yep.
rage, I then engage in combat with the ooze monster.
Excellent. Make a dexterity saving throw as you approach.
Dexterity saving throw.
Sadly, Eviagus failed.
11.
11. You also failed. You take 20 points of necrotic damage.
Yeah.
Ouch.
As the ooze sort of form just swings out and you just get smashed against the wall.
Okay, cool. Took that on the chin like a champ. And now it's
Druck's turn. Taste my spear, foul beast.
so I reckless, and it is a 24 to hit.
24. You try to find purchase, but the ooze kind of just absorbs it and it's almost formless. You hit nothing, even though it's inside of it.
Gross.
I'm going to use my charged strike, my storm strike.
Yep.
So it needs to make a saving throw.
The electricity
Saving throw.
disperses, the magic sort of like breaks apart and then comes back. It is completely unharmed.
Bugger. Alright, so I mean, I've got another attack. I'm just going to use it anyway.
Yeah.
Because I'm not going to waste this. This is not something I'm going to do it.
The exact same thing happens again. As you swing out with a spear.
Andy, I haven't rolled yet.
Oh,
Would a 20 change your mind?
a 20 does exactly the same thing.
That's good, because I didn't roll a
You
20.
kind of just swing down with it, and it kind of just passes through it. It looks like ooze, but it's almost like a miasma. It just parts and then reforms as if it's just magical energy.
This creature cannot be touched by spear nor storm. We must take out the wizard that is controlling it.
Oh, touch his heart.
Good point, Great Spirit.
It's the first time.
I love you,
face
face
is actually
monster.
like really good.
I just want to make sure you didn't miss that moment, Dungeon Master.
Yeah.
Druck did take a moment to confess
Oh,
his love for because in case touching his heart.
yeah, that makes sense.
Was love the answer?
Love was not the answer. This is the cult. This is cult 5, mate. There's no family. There's no love.
Friendship is
Just-
a secret power?
Just hunger, death, and dismembered body parts.
Encounter
But-
spells.
Okay,
No,
okay.
that's
No,
not-
wait. I did eat bingo though.
That
Does
is
that
true.
give me superpowers?
It did to
Is it
maybe
diarrhea?
not die.
Mad cow.
It's diarrhea.
Mad cow disease.
Suddenly you feel drunk.
There's a high alcohol content of bingo.
His body. It's actually not like 80% water. It's 80% alcohol. Russell, it's your turn.
Where's the wizard guy?
He's all the way back here. That is 60 feet to there, 80 feet from you right now.
You know what I'm gonna do.
Fireball?
Firebolt.
Go for it.
Not ball, bolt, because he can dispel easily. 20.
20 hits.
Nat 20?
Yes.
Yeah!
Oh, yep. Go for it then.
Confidence, bird.
So 4d10 damage. So you just like come out, like fire energy into your hand. Just it passes through this eco monster, just kind of through the middle, and just goes out the back, heading straight for the spell sorcerer sort of fanatic who like turns back and just goes, oh, and just cops it in the face.
That is 3 7s and a 10.
Pretty good. So 21, 10, 31. No.
31.
31.
Jesus Christ.
He is bloody, not looking very healthy, but he is still alive as he's basically just smashed.
Thank you.
The Knoll mask is just broken and blasted off, and you see this pale, dark, wispy white beard sort of individual underneath, now with a massive burn mark scar as he's just like, "Gah!"
I thought you were going to tell us it was silver.
Yeah.
Can I? Does the cultist have to make a concentration check at all for anything?
He most certainly does. Thank you
And
for
Russell
reminding
will
me.
step in the door.
Oh, wait.
Wait.
No, his spell is not concentration.
Of course it's not.
Even better than I expected. Why aren't people using this spell more often? Cool. Anything else, Russell?
Is it safe enough to move inside the door, or?
The ooze monster's there, and anybody who's moved out into the space beyond the door is getting hit by the ooze monster.
Yeah, he's just gonna stand there.
Could I use my body as a way to give her advantage on a saving throw,
Allow
if you want to? My body is yours.
I can even allow you, if you wanted to use your body, like grab her and like throw her and take the hit. You can make the dex save, and if you're successful, you take the damage she would take.
Throw
instead.
the bird. Throw the bird.
Yeah, why not? Let's throw that bird.
Yeah, so Russell's going to try and duck in, and Drook is going to basically shield you around. So no check for you. You just need to make a dex save. If you fail, she needs to check, but she will gain the advantage.
Okay. What could possibly go wrong?
Oh!
What was it?
It's cocked.
Roll again.
Have
It
you
is
used my
close.
reaction
That's
yet?
fine. I trust him.
It is on the line between a 19 and a 1.
Yeah. Well,
Okay, so Dex?
Yep.
A 10.
a 10. Excellent. Make a dex save.
Is my dex any good? No.
Definitely works.
Just roll high, no worries.
That is the key
Confidence burst.
to everything.
Was she rolling with advantage for that one?
Yes, you are. So if you have advantage,
Good, that
you
was
roll.
a 4.
Full or
Yeah, that's pretty good. That's a 16.
a 16. That is enough to take half of the necrotic damage. You take 10 points of necrotic damage. As Drook tries to shield you, but the ooze creature sort of whips around the other side and just basically slices at you. You sort of duck back, cop a little bit of it as it comes up your body, the necrotic energy seeping into you. You feel weakened, and as it does that, it dissipates.
I'm sorry, it's
What?
very slippery.
Why did it?
No, it doesn't dissipate, sorry. Math.
Oh,
Ooh.
But 1, 2, 3,
Interesting.
4,
interesting.
5.
Cool.
You can go a little bit more if you want. Around this side.
Yeah.
You want to just go one more 5 foot? Yeah, there you go.
Get away from it.
Fiore's turn. Her magical energy dissipates in her hand, and she just basically, if you've ever seen one of those things where they just like sit there and press the like swear censor button for the whole time somebody's talking, it's essentially that. I would not. It's just beep 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 beep. It's just all swears. You obviously hear the real stuff, but for our viewers at home, I'll censor that a little bit because this is supposed to be M. So she's lost that spell because she's held it for something that didn't happen. She's then going to look in, and she just walks away. Doesn't do anything. She comes back.
There's
down
nothing.
again. She's just like, I'm surrounded by idiots. I'm surrounded by
Take
idiots.
out the wizard!
The what?
The wizard!
I don't have anything that can reach him.
Wait, I'm a wizard, right?
Not
I
here.
can take out this wizard. This
No.
wizard, a fairy.
Throw the fairy at the wizard.
The one who's controlling
You're
the
gonna
sludge
have to
monster.
toss me.
She kind of just sits there and just, as you say that, looks at you, Caliban, and just everything's going. You just see she's just doing the math calculations, but with a frustrated face rather than the one where it's just like that. She's like, God, it's my last spell slot. Grabs you as hard as she can and goes, allow this to happen. and you watch as she incants something and just basically puts her hand on you, and you blink out of existence and reappear over here.
Am I able to react to that at all?
If you want to.
There's no saving throw, nothing on that?
If you want to resist it, there will be a saving throw. Yes.
Well, of course I'm not. Yeah, I'm just gonna let you take me to
Yeah.
something. Yeah. Oh, please take me to the other dimension.
Go for it.
Oh, yeah. What do I got?
It is a wisdom saving throw.
A wisdom saving throw. Okay, wisdom saving throw. Okay, alright, wisdom saving throw. Oh, so wise. That is a 7. Plus 4 for arcane deflection.
Yep.
So that is that's a righteous 11.
Righteous 11. Excellent. So you're not over here.
Hey!
As you just you're kinetically jaunted across the room, basically folding one space into another, and she just yells out to you, "There you go, wizard against wizard, get him!" And just like ducks down behind the thing.
You've got this, Great Spirit.
Sarah, it's your turn.
I am even confident.
You're there, and he's like standing there looking at you, and just the scar is quite bloodied. Sorry, continue.
No, that's alright. So from what I can tell is this thing that's in front of us, regardless of how many times someone passes by it or through it, it still seems to lash out.
Yeah, it looks like, as soon as somebody gets in range, it's attacking them.
Yeah, okay. Because I have very limited options with this. Because I was going to charge through, as I said. But I mean, at the end of the day, it still kind of works. Basically with, a low gnollish growl, basically Siren will start kind of running forwards, and kind of mid-stride, like the clatter of boots is going to become, here's the question. Do you think an elk would fit through that door frame?
Yeah.
Excellent!
Oh my god.
Because the clatter of boots is, feet, claws,
Yep.
is suddenly going to become the clatter of hooves.
Yep.
As, basically Noel just kind of explodes into a full
into an elk that jumps through the space and moves past it. In that case, make an elk dex save.
I will do my best. Okay, so elk stats. Let's go.
Let's go elk stats.
Elk stats bad.
I would assume so. It's an elk.
You know what? 19.
Oh my
I
god.
say that is a pass. You'll take half damage of its normal damage allotment, which is all the damage points that it has left. So you take 10 points of necrotic as it dissipates
Woohoo!
after striking you.
Oh, god damn it.
Just realised what that is.
Yeah.
A pain in the ass. What is it?
So, ever so slightly confused.
Yep.
I guess I will kind of, instead of turning and attacking that thing, which is what I was about to do.
Yep.
I will charge forward towards the mage.
Excellent.
Still
Still elk.
Still elk,
Still elk. Yep.
but still.
Still awesome.
4, 5, 6. How far?
I have a range of 50 feet.
50 feet. 7, 8. There we go. You get that far. With elk form.
Try to dash and punch him in the face with your antlers.
Unfortunately, if I dash, I can't punch him in the face. But, I mean, hell, I might as well dash.
Okay. So now we get all the way up to Olmate.
Give him the horns.
And you kind of like bound across, leaping over through the crater, and it's jumping up to him, and he just sees you coming, and he's panicking. Anything else?
No, that's it.
It is now his turn. he sees, and as the elk comes down next to him, he quickly says a quick incantation, and you watch as he changes to mist and dissipates back.
Rude.
Yeah.
He then grabs a hold of the door, opens it up,
Damn it.
and runs through. Leaving it open. He's down that one now.
Is he still within sight?
At the moment, yes. The next tunnel does seem like it starts to veer off, but he only gets as far as just to get to the basically where it starts going around the side.
Mm-hmm.
Yes, Guardian, but yeah, it's a good spell. It doesn't get used enough.
Yeah, good spell. Yeah, that's what
Yeah.
I was thinking. Great spell.
Ibiagus. Seeing the creature dissipate and him like steal himself with the spear, he starts running down this way. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. And sort of like looks around, and you see him notice something down that passageway and just goes, "Ah, shit, guys. We've got company." And on initiative count 20, just before Caliban acts, you see reinforcements alerted by commotion come running down this pathway here. 2 hyenas at the forefront. Caliban, it's your turn.
So this room,
Yes.
with my knowledge of having raided the hyena den for body parts and food and whatnot for some indeterminate amount of time. Who knows how time works in his mind, but it's been a while. Do I recognise this room? Is this...
Do a history check.
Will that take my action?
No.
Where's my history? 7.
What's Gandalf saying in that movie? I have no recollection of this place.
I was going for bring us over next time.
Yeah.
I was just thinking about a certain fairy.
You look around and it doesn't look familiar. You're not sure if you have or you have and you've forgotten. No information.
I'll
But
go
you continue your turn as if.
full John Travolta. And as I am doing said John Travolta, I will turn to meet my new Nolly companions.
Is on? Yep.
Yeah. And what I will do is I will move in such that I could potentially hit them with a 15-foot cone.
Mm-hmm.
And I will cast Dragon's Breath on myself. Oh, hold on. Let me just check the mechanics of Dragon's Breath. If I cast it on myself...
Yep. It's a bonus action cast.
Yep, so that I'm good to cast
if
breath
it's an
as
action, if it's an action to use as a breath, you can bonus action cast it and breath as the action.
Yes. Cool, I just wanted to just double check. I mean, it's not like I've ever buggered up spiritual weapon before or anything like that. So, I've never done that ever, even after playing
If you
Cleric
get
for like
right
10
next to
years.
this hyena, you can hit all of them.
If I get what?
Right next to that hyena, you can hit all 4 of them.
Oh, yeah, let's do that. That sounds very good to me. Okay, so we're going to do that.
Yep, cool.
And I will choose fire. I want it to be black fire though, because I think that that's just going through his mind at the moment.
For sure.
And they have to make a dexterity saving throw. And the check is 14.
14, okay. Hyena.
I will roll my damage.
Fail. Hyena. Fail.
I'm liking
no.
that. Fail.
No pass. 16. Second one. Fail. One of the gnolls is taking only half damage.
Mm-hmm.
The hyena is taking full.
The damage is 13.
13. So that hyena is going to take full amount. So he
Yeah, 3 d6, yeah. 13.
takes 13 for full. This one will only take half of that, so 7. And the 2 hyenas, even on half damage, well, they take full damage, so they die. The yelps of the hyenas as the flames engulf them. The 2 gnolls, one of them manages to sort of protect himself as he sort of like grabs the other gnoll and throws him in front and just gets this waft of black flame over him. So he takes a little bit less damage, but the other one is kind of like burnt crispy, bloodied, but not dead.
And now, with the remainder of my movement, I will. How high is the ceiling, roughly?
In this space, it's basically 30 feet up.
I will fly up as far as I can,
Easy going.
sort of like a diagonal.
Let's steal some of Luke's stuff.
Let's mess with his stuff.
You get up and plank yourself up. No.
So the fly up to the
You'll make it.
ceiling, or
You'll make it.
I didn't think I
There
would
we go.
be able I mean, that elk over there is looking like a mighty fairy steed.
Excellent. Drook, it's now your turn.
Okay.
Got 2 new targets, and Meiji Cultist Boy has pissed off down hallway.
Okay. So, I'm right next to one of the fallen gnolls. Because there's that gnoll in that alcove there that,
Yes, there is a dead knoll against that. Very crispy.
very
Crispy fried knoll.
Does
KFC.
does he have perhaps a spear or a javelin on him?
He has another spear on him that I'll allow you from your size be used as a javelin.
Yeah, great. So I grab that.
Yep.
I run my full speed kind of into the room towards the train tracks.
35 for you? 40 feet.
40 feet.
40 feet, yeah. So you'll get right there.
Now, would you say that the looking above the knolls where they are coming in?
Yep.
Is there any structural damage to that kind of cave? Could I potentially cause a cave in?
That one looks pretty, that's a mining sort of one, so there's massive beams in a couple of areas. The shockwave of the fireball has kicked up stuff around here, but that looks pretty solid. It doesn't look like a javelin's going to do it.
How far away is the cultist?
The cultist is 30, 40, 50, 60, 70, 75.
Okay, so I think I've got 120 feet if I roll with disadvantage.
Correct.
Alright.
So you're long, his helmet was stifling his move, Xerxes' peg, try and take it out.
So, can I reckless with a thrown weapon? Do we just...
Yes, because you use strength with certain thrown weapons, you can reckless with them.
Then,
It's just a ranged attack, but it's kind of like a thrown melee attack type
We're
thing,
doing
so
this.
I'll allow it.
so
So it's a
just
straight roll.
picking up that javelin, running to the room, and just throwing, and my aim is to just
Full javelin, just leap and gauge and just be like,
thread the needle under that stone archway above the elk.
What could go wrong?
please be
lot of
that one.
stuff.
It's not a 1,
It's a 2.
it's a 2.
It almost hits the elk as it just pings off this little bridge there above you, and some rocks fall on you. And you kind of look up and look around. There's just this javelin pegged right into the side of the bridge, and Drook there oh my God.
Without even breaking my stride, I chuck my second one.
Oh no.
Go for it.
One.
It's a 19, so it's not 20. I'm
You did oversell that.
but it is.
I was like, oh nice, it must be a natural 20.
It is a 26.
It is a 26. That is more than enough to hit. How do you do it? Literally have 3 hit points left.
The javelin is going straight to the back of his head, out through his mouth, and as he kind of falls down, it kind of
Slides onto the javelin in a very
and
Mortal
then
Kombat
slides down.
finish
Yeah,
him.
yeah, it is very much like that.
He cops that and falls dead into the alcove.
For a brief moment, he was a tripod.
Russell, it's your turn. 2 gnolls burst in from the sides.
Good work. I think you can say walk into a room.
Yes. Put the halo of fire.
Suit you.
Roll for damage.
What you doing, Russell?
Russell will.
You're hiding all the way back here. the moment.
God, I can't see.
Hiding or
It's like a
strategizing?
stream.
Strategizing.
And where are the gnolls coming from? Like,
You can just see the two there, but that's it at the moment. You know the sound of that fireball has just gone through everywhere.
he will. That would be a bad idea.
Tell me about this.
Thunderclap. No.
I mean, it also makes a very loud noise. Probably about the same loudness as the one that's already happened. So
It's kind of sailed.
Loud
yeah,
noises.
you just like his stealth is out the door.
And we're trying to go down that way? The door?
It's up to you guys. You know that's a mine shaft thing that sort of goes off that direction. You lose sight as it goes around the corner. Nobody's really. Drook's got a little bit. It's very similar with this one. It kind of like weaves and just you lose sight of it after a little bit there. You come from that, which you know has an intersection of 3 and a bunch of other things. And then that door is where the cultist mage was trying to get reinforcements when he yelled out Abyssal.
So that was probably not a good idea if he was going for reinforcements. So he's just gonna go near the middle of the room. 30
You
feet.
can kind of go and plug yourself here next to Ibiagus.
And are the gnolls within my range? Or sight?
Yeah.
Yeah, I can't
You got
see.
sight. You got sight. Yeah.
Yeah, I can see them. So they will get hit with a fireball.
Too easy.
Dex 13.
You are fireborn.
Yeah.
Excellent.
Right.
So probably like about there, so you don't hit your
Yeah.
friends. So it'll have to detonate there. It will get the 2 nulls and nothing else. 2 nulls. 2 fails.
Oh
I think I
no.
made 1 save. Which, as if Alex Rhodes is watching, he knows is a very bad sign.
For who? For us?
Yeah.
Oh no.
He knows what I'm. If you talk to him, he'll tell you. He'll be like, anytime he's rolling really bad for inconsequential things, the moment something big comes out, it's 20.
Yep.
Yeah.
That is true.
39.
39 points of damage. You watch as a
Ooh.
fireball, well, you don't have your spell components.
Oh,
Say
shit.
you found something on the ground.
Yeah, sorry.
Be like, oh, back one, and grab them, run up, start like going like this, and
Oh,
just
that shit off the ground.
Anyway, explodes. Those gnolls are just incinerated immediately. Both failing their saves, taking the full 39 points of damage, and that section of the mine shudders, shakes. The beams also catch fire and start to break. Rocks start coming down, basically closing that section off.
Russell is laughing maniacally.
I assume you just see the experience tokens just keep racking up as all the gnolls who are in that tunnel.
You can see it was collapsing just sort of in that section when the fireball went off. It's not like a chain
A
reaction.
conga line of knowledge.
Yeah.
Just
It's a strike.
Any mining company who's built a labyrinth of mines, if one pillar goes down and
It
collapses the
all
entire
goes
network,
down.
that would be very bad.
See,
But Russell, with that, anything else?
Nope.
Fiore comes running through, shuts the door, and goes, shit, they're coming this way as well, and starts backing up. It starts holding sort of magical energy in a hand like this, which, you know.
Turns out that mine was the way we were supposed to go.
there's only one way to go now.
Actually, there's 2.
There's
isn't
2
there?
ways.
Yeah.
Follow.
We got over there.
Is the
and
railroad
left.
down?
This one just sort of weaves.
I don't know. Okay.
It doesn't look like it goes up or down. Siren, it is your turn.
Because I'm looking back at where Fiore is, it's unlikely I'll be able to. Well, I shouldn't stand in front of a door that's about to be kicked in.
That one.
Yeah.
I mean,
Yeah.
You could try.
So I'm going to quickly run up and basically peer through what's in that door where the mage was running through to.
this one?
Yep.
So you want to look around the corner?
Yep.
Yep, so you come up to there.
What do my elk eyes see?
So as an elk, you come up to the corner, and as you look around, you can see it sort of curves up and sort of opens up into another cabin space, maybe a cross section of the same sort of like mine. This mine might double back, or it's another line. You're not really sure, but it does look like it's another sort of mining sort of subsection. Across the door of this space, there isn't a door, it's just an opening. And you see a pack of 6 gnolls running towards you.
Excellent.
Yeah, from that door up there.
That one, yes.
Yep.
So where that nice shiny staff is.
Where the guy died, yeah. And the shiny staff is lying on the ground.
Sorry, I'm just looking at how wide is this passageway?
This tunnel, it's about 10 feet wide.
Okay. So I'm trying to work out the physics of an elk with a staff in its mouth trying to turn around in a 10-foot.
Oh, yeah, you should be able to. Yeah, you can go like that and just
It's,
like, go
it's
like
just
this.
gonna be like a dog with a
Because
big
you're
stick.
being druids, you do retain your mental stats, so you are
Yeah.
smart enough to do that stuff.
Yeah.
So like you're going like this and then doing like the dogs with the tree trunks going or just like going gunk. Oh no, can't do that. Gunk. No, that doesn't work. Just like sit
It was
there for an hour.
entirely just the physics of the matter.
No, you can pick it up in the out mouth and kind of like twist your neck and sort of just like go like this and bring it around.
Yeah.
It's only 6 foot sort of staff. 6
Okay.
foot, 5 foot.
Never
So yeah,
heard D&D
basically
and physics in the same
elk
sentence.
will grab it and run back the other way.
Okay, so that'll be that, and then if you want to dash, you can get to somewhere else here.
Yes.
You already moved up 30 feet that way. Sorry, 40 feet up that way. So if you wanted to get a little bit further when you started, that's the maximum
Yeah.
of 100 feet.
And is dash a bonus or a
Dash is an
forward?
action.
Yeah.
But I'll
perfect.
allow you to pick it up for nothing.
Oh, that's all right.
Because he's going to stuff us on the next bit.
Yeah.
So as a bonus action,
Yep.
I will use one of my spell slots for basically 1 magic druid point, and kind of spit the staff down, and from the elk's mouth, a disturbingly human or elven voice basically cries out, "There's 6 more coming through the doorway."
What does it sound like when an elk is it like actually sounds human? Just like
Yeah, no,
Yeah, I think it's like very
Um,
very uncanny, sort of like.
Funnily enough,
human.
imagery.
it also doesn't sound like a gnoll either.
Okay.
So it sounds like a a very generic, slightly feminine voice.
Well done, Surin.
I like to think that Caliban doesn't hear because he's still basking in the radiance of the flaming fireball from before.
It seems that we may have only one path left to us.
What are we doing? As Fiores looks around and Iviaris is just like, I think he's talking about that way. Gestures up.
I think we may have to run.
So Aviagus runs here and stops as creatures come around the corner, and he goes, guys, I think we've alerted everybody. And you can see a Lacrotta and a bunch of hyenas and a few gnolls. There's about 10 of them coming down that way, trying to see what's going on. You are now completely surrounded.
Last advantage.
The elk gently shrugs its shoulders.
Caliban
just thinking
turns
about
to
the
face the
horse from
impending
Adventure Time.
hordes of furry bad guys. Takes one look at Confidence Bird and does the nod. It's not my turn yet, so I can't move to you.
It's your turn. Yeah.
Oh, it is my turn?
It'll be your turn now. Yeah.
Oh.
Confidence bird is very lost.
We'll go a little bit out of turns for
I
a second.
fly down.
As the forces are converging on your position, you have basically a turn each that you can do in any combination.
So I'm going to do the most important thing.
Yes.
I float down towards Confidence Bird. I look in your beaky eyes at my dagger and I touch you on both shoulders and I say to you, Schnack Zombrak! I nod approvingly at you as I just float right in front of your face. What do you do?
He's very confused, but he just looks at you like he repeats what you said because can't you?
Thank you. So he just the nodding doesn't stop.
Caliban continues to nod, and then a skull flail head slams into his jaw, smashing him across 30 feet into a rock, and he takes 15 points of bludgeoning damage and 22 points of psychic damage.
Oh, I get
I'm sorry, I thought.
what's my armor?
I rolled a 19, so attack of 13.
I'm sorry, I thought we all had a turn to do something.
Yeah,
Oh.
that's at the end of his turn.
But Andy also got a turn.
Was it like a freeze frame of like, you might be wondering how I got
George, what are you doing?
well, I was going to search the bodies around to pick up any loose javelins, weapons, or health potions.
You do that with ease.
Do I find any health potions?
No.
Great. So I pick up all the weapons I can
Yeah,
comfortably.
basically fully sort of like kitted up, javelins all behind you. Russell and Russell's obviously talking to him, but you can do something a little bit more if you want, just before he gets the hit in the head.
Taking how much damage again?
It was 14 bludgeoning and 22 psychic.
Can I silvery barbs that?
If I just do
What's your passive perception?
Is that 35?
I think so, yeah.
11.
And you don't notice it coming.
Do I even know what he's doing? Like, what? Did I get knighted?
Yeah, so
Russell's turn is she stands there in confusion.
Yeah, pretty much.
so table talk, I was speaking in Goblin, and I basically called you Brave Winged Creature in Goblin. Respect for, game recognizing game with the fireball.
I was really hoping it was going to be advantage or something. Okay. Yeah, he does not do anything. Yeah, he will.
Okay, so the elk is going to suddenly turn back into a gnoll.
No, yep.
Um,
Oh, yeah, you're right.
basically as I dismiss
God.
my wild shape.
Yep.
And Siren will basically scoop up the staff, because at least it's a staff. I know how to use one of these.
Yep.
And effectively back up, sort of back to back toward the rest of the group.
Yeah. Druk and you are just like,
Yeah.
"Rawr." Backing up, ready.
It is a pleasure to die with you, Siren.
I hope it doesn't come to that, but yeah, pleasure. That's what we call it. And the Knoll voice is entirely gone at this point in time. It's just a very, very uncomfortable elf. So at this point in time, I will. I'll turn to Druck. One hand out, grasp the sort of you by the bicep in like a comforting move, and as a sort of last ditch thing, so I'll cast Healing Word. So it's.
I want to save that. It's fine though. Still freeze framed.
Polymorph doesn't cover people.
Like something like that was going to happen. I just thought stepping on your moment was the best time. For impact.
It had impact. 35 damage has impact.
So 5. You regain 5.
Thank you, sir.
And I guess freeze frame stops.
So yeah, everybody does their stuff. A fairy is just flung against a rock near Russell as Russell sort of like the chain starts retracting over your shoulder, Russell. And you can see Fiore's just moved out of the way, and at the door is Ericarina standing there.
Oh,
She's
we
just
are
like
dead.
stands out and just looks at the group, and you watch as all the gnolls sort of come filtering out and just stop. The gnolls come up here and stop, and she's just like, "Oh, a little prison break, it would seem. Is this a fight to the death situation, or do you want to go back into the cages?" She just looks at you, flails.
Caliban is uncharacteristically quiet as he is completely unconscious.
Everyone is worried.
Fiore literally prostrates herself onto the ground and goes, "Cages, please. Cages, I don't want to die with these morons." And she like gets up and like shuffles over next to Ericarina and then just sort of like stands there. "I'm just gonna stand here and not do anything." Ericarina just like looks at her and just goes, "Intelligent move. Unlike the rest of you who decided to set off 2 fireballs in my entire cult lair."
Just out of curiosity, I mean, in terms of where she's standing, if the structural integrity
Yeah.
of the cabin was to just erode, I mean, I'm just out there. I mean,
That where she's standing isn't particularly structurally sound from where the first fireball shook it up a little bit and it shifted a little bit. Correct.
I don't know if you know this, Dungeon Master. My fairy's actually from the future.
Oh, okay.
And he knows what's next.
He totally knew that. He saw it coming. So yeah, she's just sort of standing there and goes, "What'll it be?" And that is actually where we're going to end tonight's session.
Yay. I mean, boo! Boo!
Oh my god.
So in the next 3 weeks before the next Cult of Hunger, we're going to decide who of our friends we're going to throw under the bus.
Yeah. Well, Fiore's already thrown all of you guys under the bus.
Yeah.
She was never our friend.
That's true.
We might throw the fairy under the bus.
So,
I mean, the fairy's already under the bus.
we have interesting predicaments. The group has alerted the entire cult sort of base to their whereabouts, and a few notable figures have come into play. Ericarina, feeling it's probably worth her time to come and see what's going on, has come in and subsequently put her foot down. We will have to see next time, so in a month, how this unfolds.
Man, what a cliffhanger.
That's a big one, yeah.
Better tune in for the next one.
Yep, it's going to be interesting. You may get to see the Coastal Conqueror's first TPK.
Oh no.
So, yep, we will call it there. Thank you, ladies and gentlemen, for joining us tonight. Appreciate the support, and we'll see you next Thursday.
Woo!
Bye-bye.
Bye-bye.
See ya.